Bro Plata. Yay, Bro Plata. I am Ray Highclack. That in his new established bunker somewhere in a coal mine in Tuscarawas County is Tim Danko. Timmy, how are you today, my buddy?
I'm good, man. Yeah, dude, I got this map, right? I've been wanting to put something behind me. I got this map, and now in the light, it messed my lighting up. So I had to turn some of these lights off because before I looked like a ghost. So I had to turn some of the lights off. So now it looks like, it looks like I'm in an underground bunker somewhere.
Your skin was so
Plotting against the world.
Your skin was almost translucent when like in front of that with the full lights on in your basement. It almost looked like, those white faces and then all of a sudden there's a beard and the eyebrows and everything. It's kind of how you looked. I like this look. I was telling you that before we started. I love this look.
Ray, talk among yourself for a second.
Boy.
I gotta converse.
Okay. We have a conversation going on. Tim Danko is talking to somebody, and we're going from there. He's having some kind of malfeasance. Let's put the camera on myself before we see the Tim goes. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. This is Bro Plata. This is a weekly podcast. 2 to 3 times a week, usually interviews with MMA luminaries. We've had a lot of people in the local Ohio scene on. You can go check those out anywhere that you stream your podcast needs. Bro Plata. Tim looks translucent again. Kind of wish the camera was on him. But I mean, that looks good. I like that. That's nice. It's pretty. It's Baba Yaga, if you will. Baba Yaga. Talking about McGregor Porier 2 coming up this weekend.
All right, I'm back.
Yay! I was just giving an overview of great things going around about us and how we are awesome. We are the greatest podcast to ever exist, Tim. You would agree with me on that.
Talk about Hank Aaron yet. This is going to bring down the mood real fast.
Because that's what you do, sucker. That's right. By the way, there is a support link. But yeah, let's talk about Hank Aaron passing away at age 86. And one of the great baseball players of all time, and a man who broke a lot of barriers and had a lot of people pissed off in the 70s. But what are you gonna do?
Right? But he's so damn good. That's what you get.
Yeah, he shut people up, and that's the one thing I like about him. He didn't care about a lot of shit. He just went out there, played baseball, and was one of the best to ever do it.
He's still my home run king.
Right? Yeah, I agree.
He had the career home run record for a long time until Barry Bonds and his giant pumpkin head, needle sticking out of his ass, broke
the largest arms money can buy.
Yeah, dude, no. Hank Aaron wasn't doing that shit, and he's one of the best power hitters, if not the best power hitter in the history of baseball, and he will be missed, sir. Because he was a guy who was around a lot too, right? He went to games and stuff. He went to Braves games. He was around. He was an ambassador, I guess you call it, for baseball for a long time, his whole life. So it would happen eventually because he's in his 80s. But it's a sad day for baseball because, like I said, he's one of the best to ever do it, especially when it comes to the long ball.
Oh yeah, man, and that's. I've watched a lot of like the footage that MLB Network would put on of him, especially in February because of the month that it is. I liked watching old Hank Aaron highlights because they were really entertaining, and the fact that he was one of the best power hitters to ever grab a bat and say, "I'm gonna go out there and fucking shove it down their throat." And that's what I liked about it. That's what I like about him. He just didn't give any fucks, which is wonderful.
Also, a guy who started as a very young man in the Negro Leagues.
Yes. Yeah.
And apparently they say, legend has it, that when he started playing in the Negro Leagues, he used to hold his hands wrong, like opposite. And they said he could hit like that. It's like when they figured out how to, get his hands right on a bat, he was great. I'm like, how do you not break your wrist like that?
I don't know. That does sound like a mystery to me,
Yeah.
especially since you can get this, especially like an inside pitch. Think about an inside pitch going at your like a weak out, like a weak
Right.
wrist.
No, I mean,
Ugh.
if I just swung a bat, especially like a major league, heavy wooden bat, right? If I swung that thing hard with my left hand on top as a right-handed hitter, I'd break my wrist, almost guaranteed.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
sounds awful. I don't know how he ever did that, and the fact that he could hit like that. Holy crap! Of course, when they got it right, of course, he was one of the greatest home run hitters to ever live. So,
Yep.
anyway, yeah, that's sad, man.
Agreed.
And rest in peace, Hammer and Hank. You're the man.
Yeah, and we lose another piece of great baseball history.
Yeah, Don Sutton died this week too.
Yeah, and it's been they're dropping like flies, sir, and it's kind of we're getting to that age where like our heroes are slowly getting old.
Tommy Lasorda. Well, all those guys. I mean, Don Sutton was 75, but Hank Aaron's 86. I mean, all these guys were done playing before we watched baseball, right? So
yeah,
but because baseball is such a history-rich sport, if you're a fan of baseball, you get entwined with the history, right?
Yeah,
you learn a lot about baseball, and one of the greatest sports documentaries on earth is Ken Burns' Baseball, and that tells you everything you need to know.
Yes,
pretty much. That's great. I know people who don't even like baseball that like that documentary.
I've never actually like watched that fully.
You have to, man. There's 10 innings now. He came out a few years ago. He came out with the steroid era inning episode, whatever. So that was interesting too. But yeah, it's great. It used to be on Netflix. It isn't anymore, but it's awesome. I've watched the whole thing all the way through multiple times, and it's long. I don't know how long it is in total, but it's long. It's multiple. It's like, I don't know, like 9 or 10 hours or something or more.
I've seen the Civil War documentary he did, which
I didn't see that one. I didn't see that one.
Yeah, the Civil War one's pretty awesome. I like that one because one, the acting is pretty, like the voice acting from the people reading letters and everything like that is amazing. I can definitely see Sean Lynch doing that.
What? No.
My dearest
Margaret. I hope this letter finds you well.
Dearest Silky, I cannot wait until you are off the plantation.
Sheesh.
Oh, come on. I was doing it as Sean.
You have one. We have one friend. You have a friend in an interracial couple, and this is where Ray goes. This is why we can't do live. It's why we can't do live shows. What the hell, Ray?
Shush. Oh,
damn
come on,
Ray. Canceled. We're canceled.
Oh, we've probably been canceled a lot longer.
Even the fellow world leaders in the bunker right now are looking at me like, "What the hell did he just say?" I know, Putin. I know. Put your shirt on, Vlad. Put your shirt on. This is not that kind of party.
Yeah, get off the horse, man.
Get off the horse, Vlad.
Stop killing lions, you son of a bitch.
You know what I want to do? I want to start like asking anyone that will actually take our messages or emails, like the lowest level person that will take our emails, trying to get Vladimir Putin on the podcast just to talk about judo. Like we just want to talk about judo.
Yes.
just because we don't want to talk about judo.
No politics, just judo, sir.
Could you imagine we like that movie, The Interview, with James Franco and Seth Rogen? Like if we somehow landed Vladimir Putin on our podcast, what we said we just talk about judo.
The Pentagon has our ISPs and just like tracks where Putin is, and you just see
they know where he is. I mean, that's not a
But no, what I mean is like all of a sudden they just you just see behind him in like the presidential office, like black suited like paratroopers like rappelling through the window while we're having the interview.
Yeah, him and the guy from Icarus, that Gregory guy, he's somewhere in the country, I believe. And apparently, man, he's under like close watch. That guy who's a whistleblower from Icarus, the movie Icarus, the whistleblower of the doping scandal in Russia during the Olympics. The guy who was the head doctor of he was the anti-doping doctor in Russia, which in Russia means the doping doctor.
Yes.
Right? And he blew the whistle, and now they're trying to kill him to this day. They still are. And he's somewhere. He has asylum now, somewhere in this country, probably. He may be in Canada. Who knows? Somewhere. But apparently they told Rogan he would go on his show, but Rogan was afraid that like there's some way that they could figure out where he was. He didn't want to be that guy. I'll take him. Let's do it. You want to do a podcast that no one will watch? All of a sudden we just get this big uptick in Russian viewership. Angry Russians trying to figure out where the hell this dude is.
There's a VP with a comment that says "You're dead." I don't know what that means.
Vladdy126 says
Shirtless horse rider 75.
shirtless stud. Yeah.
Shirtless potato for Bob Kinner fans out there. No.
What? No inside jokes, man. This is for the world, right? Are we going up the man? You know what? I keep worrying about this, Ray. As today, I'm having a weird hearing day. I have to turn it up a little bit.
It's okay. We all have those.
Yeah, right. I think we're getting worse, Ray. That's just the problem.
No,
I think we are, buddy.
No, we've got listeners. We've had people listening before, so that's a nice thing. Like I said, we had more. We actually bumped our listenership up, which was a wonderful thing on the podcast. So those are getting listens.
I don't know. My favorite kind of podcast sound like two dudes just hanging out. And that's exactly, or not two dudes, people hanging out. Sorry, the way I said that was not better.
Yeah, no need to misgender here.
Yeah, right, of course. But that's us pretty much. We're just yelling at each other. This is a conversation that we would have if we weren't podcasting, probably.
Exactly.
We had these before we started podcasting, so
we were the bitterest of foes.
Everyone needs to give Ray a round of applause here. Here we go. There it is. You hear that, Ray? That's for you because you finally got all our episodes up. You can finally listen to all of our episodes in one place.
Yes, you can listen. You can actually, we are up to date. This is episode 52. So that means we can officially play pickup with our podcast, which is awesome. That's an inside card joke.
Yep.
That's a card joke for people. I did, by the way, the co-feature contest.
Oh, how'd that go?
I did not move on.
Did you bomb, Ray?
No. Didn't bomb at all. I actually got some good laughs, and some of my jokes were fun. But I did also get a weekend, which is going to be great. I'm going to be hosting for John McClellan, bald
John
comedian.
McCain? You said John McCain?
McClellan.
McCain? John McCain?
John McCain, he's dead.
What?
Yeah.
John McCain? Oh.
Yeah.
What am I thinking of? John McClane.
They buried him in a bamboo casket.
John McClane.
McClellan.
John McClane is Die Hard, right?
Yes.
No,
yeah.
I was thinking John McClane.
Ah, you son of a bitch.
He's still out there kicking it.
Motherfucker.
Right?
But that'll be
jokes and barefoot.
Yeah, he'll be in a vent with only a lighter and a walkie-talkie, trying to get to the man with immunity in the second film. I know that.
What, dude? Oh, I know. No, whatever, man. You know what?
I like Die Hard. I think it's a good series.
The only ones that I could tell you about. I mean, I think I've seen them all, but the only ones I really remember are the first one, classic. And for some reason, the one with Justin Long and Kevin Smith, for whatever reason, which that movie, thank the Lord, led to the creation of Cop Out, which was a not great movie. But,
neither a good experience for Kevin Smith.
Yeah. That's one thing that's cool about Kevin Smith is he makes a movie, then you get to hear everything that happens because it would just go around the country telling people the weird stories that happen on the set, which is always fun. And there's always I think on Amazon Plus right now, you can watch Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. You can watch the making of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, which is fun. It makes you want to make a movie with Kevin Smith. Yes,
that's been a dream of mine to act with under Kevin Smith my entire life. Ever since I first watched Clerks, and then what was it? Dogma. Dogma is my favorite Kevin Smith movie.
You know what? Mine too. Did we talk about this before? I think we have, man.
I don't know.
No, Dogma's my favorite. Dogma's great. I think the script of Dogma is great. It's so creative and it's so out there, but it's real fun. It's great. I love Dogma. Sometimes I watch Dogma and be like, man, could you imagine if someone else directed this movie? That's one of those. But the one script I could see someone else directing of his. That and Red State, and that's how they go for me. Number 1, Kevin Smith movie, Dogma. Number 2, Red State.
I've not seen Red State yet.
Whoa, you haven't? I mean, it's different, man. It's not a comedy, right? It's different, but it's great.
Oh, it's got Robert Englund, which is awesome.
Michael Parks.
Michael Parks is in
John
it.
Goodman.
Oh yeah, I forgot John Goodman was in that movie.
Dude, Melissa Leo. And she's
Oh,
great in it because Melissa Leo is great in everything.
my second favorite Kevin Smith movie would probably be Chasing Amy.
Jason Amy's good too. That one has a lot of heart. That's a good one. There's good life lessons in Chasing Amy too.
And because we've established that I'm a pervert on this show, the fisting talk is always one of my favorite things ever because of Ben Affleck's reaction.
Yeah.
When he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I think my favorite scene of that movie is when she and Jason Lee's character are just like going back a weird story, some stuff that like injuries they got, like trying to like have sex. It was pretty funny. It's a great movie. Watch Kevin Smith's movies. All right,
they're amazing.
Couple you don't have to watch. Yoga Hosers. Don't watch that.
I've heard things about Yoga Hosers.
It's. I mean, dude, if you really love Kevin Smith movies, watch it. I mean, I watched it all the way through. It's fine. That might be the only one because I like Jersey Girl. I might be the only one who likes a Jersey Girl, but I like Jersey for what it is. Like it's a different kind of Kevin Smith movie, right? It's it's a love story about a guy and his daughter, right? It's a different kind of movie. But I get it. I like it. I don't know why people thought it was so shit. Also it was the what do they call it? The Ben and Jen, whatever. It was Lopez and Affleck in that year where it was like shit was weird. Like Geely came out that same year, right? Mm-hmm. But so timing was weird on it. But I mean, George Carlin's in it, and he plays a lovable grandpa, and he's great in it. I like Jersey Girl. Jersey Girl is a good movie. Talk all the shit you want. All right, it didn't do great with the critics, right? It didn't do great box office. I like Jersey Girl. I'll fight you. And Tusk. I like Tusk too. For what
Tusk, I want to see. I want to see Tusk.
Tusk doesn't try to be anything other than what it is, and it's just a weird, goofy horror movie. That's exactly what it's supposed to be, and exactly what it is, and it's wacky and fucking weird, but it's fun.
Yeah, I've heard good things about Tusk. It's one of those movies that you kind of, I don't know, you hear about it and you're like, this sounds exactly like what I want it to be. Like,
yeah, that's exactly. And the cool thing about that is, I think eventually this will happen with us, right? Because that's a movie that was started via podcast.
Yeah,
because you can look on the internet that they have clips of when they talked about it because they got it off of some posting off some other site about some dude trying to ask. Let's see, said you can live with me if you dress up like a walrus or something. It ended up being fake, but it was funny because they were making fun of it and they're like, "What if we made a horror movie out of this?" And they ended up making the movie. It was funny. That's like if we made our movie about the aliens coming back and cloning Diego Sanchez. And right,
it needs to happen.
It needs to happen.
It needs this movie, that movie, and if I meet him in Vegas, which I probably won't, but I want that. I'm gonna pitch him that movie. And be like, I want a movie where it's literally
Diego Sanchez. But that was where the thought came from, right? Because he said he was visited by aliens. We're like, oh shit! Yes. What if the aliens were trying to clone Diego Sanchez to attack us with Diego Sanchez clones? And then we thought of, what about a movie where aliens decide they want to beat us in hand-to-hand combat, and to do that, they clone our best fighter, right?
Yes,
so like world champion, whatever. And so the government has to go and find the one guy that ever beat him. He's like living at a farm by himself, and he doesn't fight anymore. So I don't fight anymore, right? He's a recluse now, or whatever, right? He's like, I'm done with that life, that. And they had to go out on the farm and get him, and then they leave without him. And then like 2 scenes later, you see him pull up in his old beat up pickup truck. He's like, "Where's the fight?" Like that, yeah, right. So he has to teach all the soldiers how to beat this guy, right? That's it. It's called Attack of the Champion,
and
it's coming out pretty never. What?
I know what the sequel will be.
No sequel, one at a time. I don't like movies that you set up for sequels on purpose.
No, well, I mean, it would be in the post-credit scene. Post-credit scene, the guy that beat the aliens gets abducted himself.
Well, then you have to set up a hero for the second movie, right? Or it's completely different, or it's going to take place in space.
Yes,
different. We need to make this movie. However, I'm pretty sure we don't have. Look, there's some movies that we can make at a shoestring budget. This is not one of them. This is a bunch of special effects and shit. I can't do that.
It might actually be a really good book. Nice trade paperback comic book.
Well, yeah. You know what? Yeah, graphic novel. We're sort of writing a graphic novel, Ray.
I like it.
I'm not
I
going to let
like
you draw it though, because Ray decided he wanted to try to draw us a logo. And do you have that? Please tell me you
No,
do.
well, that wasn't me that drew it. It was a friend
Oh,
of mine who sent me that. And I'm like, that would actually be a fun, like, standee poster for us to have.
well, now I feel bad talking shit about it because it wasn't you.
You son of a bitch.
I know. Well,
You
see,
son
it
of a
wasn't
bitch.
bad. It wasn't bad, but the thing was, we look like I said, we look like meth fueled child abductors. We
Yeah.
look bad. I don't want us to look like more terrifying in our sketches, right? I want us to look happier and like more, approachable in our sketches, right? I don't want to be creepier in our cartoon versions, right? Also, I think my hair is a little thin in that drawing. All right, look at that. That was the first thing I saw was why is my hair so thin?
Well, my
First
beard
thing.
didn't look that good,
No,
but I liked it. It was
no,
a good. It was a good
I
drawing. We
had to
may
like
color it.
I had to check my hair after that because I'm one of those people to be like, is my hair really that thin? I had to check. I'm like,
No,
we're good.
you have
We're good.
glorious hair.
Thank you. It's my favorite thing.
It should be, sir.
I got some grays coming in though. I got a good bit of grays coming in, but
I will say this though: the internet has been savage lately, with pictures and all kinds of stuff. It's been inauguration week.
Oh yeah.
And this also is the big week for the UFC. It's the first pay-per-view of 2021, which we will talk about. Like, share, and do all that bullshit that you need to see how good we are because we're sexy men. But I do like the one meme that went around a lot was Bernie Sanders sitting at the inauguration like the uncle that didn't want to be there. He wanted to be at bowling or like on his four-wheeler at his house. He wanted to do something else with his day. The gloves were one of a kind, by the way. People have been asking about those gloves.
Yeah.
They're quite lovely. But obviously he was sitting in a chair by the inauguration, so people decided to make memes of it. One of my favorites is actually from The Sopranos. It's him sitting outside of the pig deli in The Sopranos. Another one was there's been a few WWE ones. There's one with him on Randy Macho Man Savage's shoulder, like Miss Elizabeth. That one's a good one.
Speaking of Kevin Smith, there's one with him in front of the Quick Stop with Jay and Silent Bob, which is hilarious.
But some people did make MMA memes, which is awesome. This one was sent to me by my buddy. It's via Joe Rogan, on his meme, which is him, Bernie Sanders in a full arm bar. And John Anik, DC, and Joe are just loving it.
Great. Who's the armbar? Can you tell?
I cannot. Let me look on my phone here and see if the dude, or I can tell who it is.
You sent it to me
looking
too,
at it.
I can't tell.
No, I don't know who that is. It's kind of blurry on my end too. But one of my other favorite ones.
First thought, is that Eric Silva? Maybe
it might be Eric Silva.
I'm not sure. Really tell. That could be a lot of people.
But powerful fight shorts, by the way, that Bernie has. Really good sponsorships. Really visible too, which I like. My favorite one, though, even though I am a Conor McGregor fan, we'll talk about that coming up. But him choking out Conor McGregor.
That's so great.
It's adorable.
That's awesome.
It looks like Bernie's asking him for a piggyback ride. And I mean, we all know that Bernie Sanders definitely is in the 1% when it comes to his neck cranks. He always talks about him being part of the 99, but he is definitely 1% on the mats, and I'm respectful.
It's those tough Northeasterners, right? What you got to do in Vermont except for smoke weed and choke people out? That's what they do up there.
And much like Russians, there's a lot of much like Russia, there's a lot of bears up there. So who knows the training that he received from his carny bear training parents did Bernie Sanders to get that good.
You ever been up to New England way? It's I mean, I've been to Boston. That's it.
The farthest east I've ever been, or like northeast I've ever been, would be Nyack, New York, which is like right across the bay from like Manhattan, New York area, or New York City
Okay.
area. I was there for I went to an open mic at a bar called Olives, which is right next to Levity Live in Nyack. And I've never been north of New York City.
You've been to New York City though, right?
I've never actually been in New York City proper.
Oh, really?
Never.
Oh,
No.
well, I feel bad
It's
for
a
you.
dream.
Now it's going to be different, right?
I
Hopefully it
know.
comes back eventually, but things are going to be different there, and man, that's one of those places, man. And it's funny because for a while I was thinking about moving there, and then also L.A. And then I'm like, man, this is a lot different than where I live now. But I also know that I can get used to things. I've done that before. I mean, not that extreme, but I know I could. What was I going to say? My brother was there once. Is when we were in high school. We went, and he hates it. He's like, I'm never going back there. That's like, he's just like, why would I ever go? There's nothing there for me. I'm like, it's the complete opposite for me. I love the place, kind of. But I mean, living there would be nuts, right? It's super busy. I'm sure I get
Not
used
right
to it.
now though.
But yeah, right now it's different. But sure.
But
yeah, you haven't been there. Yeah, it's it's a different kind of place, man. It's cool. Very cool.
I flew into Newark, which was interesting. That was because it was like a really bad snowstorm that we were like going ahead of, and it was brutal winds, horrifying. But then once I got on the the Garden State Parkway,
because if you say Jersey Shore, I'm turning off my computer. Good.
No, I've never been to the Jersey Shore. I was only in Newark and Westwood, New Jersey. Westwood, I think it is Westwood or Wildwood, something like that. And then New York per se. Now he's just interrogating himself.
I know, right? I have my cell phone light on, and I'm just gonna see if I can light the map behind me. This is bad timing because I don't really need to do it now. But now
I
it
feel
looks
like now this is now going to be
abducted.
Tim's conspiracy podcast. Like this
Right.
is the start
That's
to
what it
every
would be,
conspiracy podcast.
Right. From the undisclosed, from a bunker in undisclosed location in South Central Ohio or East Central Ohio.
We're gonna, I Jesse the Body Ventura will make sure that you're off the grid. We're gonna go off the grid and talk about the harp machine.
Okay, showbomb. Anyway,
come on, that's an okay for not being able to do many voices. That's a decent.
Well, dude, your impressions are all better. I don't know if there's any impression I do better than you. Like, you're much better at those than I am. I'm not a impression guy. But speaking of conspiracy theories, have you, like you said, you promised me you would do this week, Raymond?
I have not, but I will be in contact with him tomorrow. It is on the agenda.
Okay, all right. We're talking about Pat Miletich.
Yes, we want Pat on this show.
We want to have him on. We wanted to have him on before. We had a schedule a couple of times. Pat's been busy. He called us. Very nice. He's very nice about it. Talked to Ray. Said, hey, we reschedule because he has things going on. But he got fired by LFA for being at the protest in Washington. So
yeah,
we were interested in what's going on there.
I think we talked about it episode 50.
We did talk about it. I was just recapping while we're talking about Pat Miletich.
Well, I'm also saying go back and watch episode 50 on Facebook and all the places that you can find us. Search Bro Plata.
I think I counted 13 platforms.
Yeah. 13 platforms. All you have to do is just search out the name of the show, Bro Plata, BROPLA.
Wherever you feel comfortable, right? Streaming a podcast.
And share, please share this out with people. Yeah. I guarantee you may not like if you're watching this and you're a fan of just Tim Danko, because I know I have no fans.
True.
And if you're not an MMA fan, just share it out because I guarantee you there will be somebody on your friends list who goes, "Hey, this is fucking dope. I like this."
Yeah, that's true. And like what my brother says to me, he's like, "I don't like fighting enough to hear you guys talk about it all the time." I'm like, "Dude, we talk about maybe half fighting."
Yeah,
like the reason. We need to have something. We need to have something to keep us on a schedule of some sort, right? And then we have something to talk about. Like what have we talked about? We talked about bunkers and Kevin Smith and Hank Aaron. That's what we talked about so far. None of that's fighting. We're gonna get there. All right, we're getting there, and we should have. We have a lot to talk about. We have to do a double, what we call a double episode, and we haven't even started yet. So that should be fun.
It's going to be fun. I'm drinking, so
yeah, me too. I have it 8. So yeah, this is gonna get bad really quick. It's gonna be a multiple bathroom break kind of episode. It's gonna be one of those, man.
I like that though. It's part of the fun.
Let me get anybody. You think we can get anybody on? I want to have somebody on.
I don't know.
If anybody wants to come on the podcast, let us know. I'm gonna say that about 10 times.
Do it up.
Just tell us, and all you have to do. You don't even need anything. Hey, that's me. We don't even need anything downloaded. You can just hit a link. We can text you. We can send you a Facebook message link. Do it on your phone. Very easy. Super easy.
It is a beautiful thing. A beautiful thing. A beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I love it.
Sure, it is. Okay, Ray. So what we got? We're going to start doing business now? We're going to start half an hour in?
Let's get into some stuff. Full disclosure, I did not watch all of the prelims.
Please tell me you watched Davis Jones.
Davis Jones. Let's look on the prelims.
Fight of the night, Davis Jones.
I did not.
Oh, Raymond. Sorry,
but I will defer to the great man known as Timothy Danko.
We'll start there because it was in the prelims.
Yes, and actually, let's talk about it right now. Mike Davis defeating
a newcomer from Wales,
Mason Jones.
Fighting Mike Davis. Dude, I don't know. All I can say is, man, you need to watch this fight. It was great. It was back and forth the whole time. I mean, this Mason Jones kid has no fear, man. This kid comes at hard. But Mike Davis kind of the same way, man. And he did win the fight. I think they got this one right. I don't remember if it was a unanimous decision or not, but it was a good fight. It was a close fight. This Mason Jones kid, dude, he's got some fire, dude. This kid's gonna be good. But Mike Davis, man, he's a guy. He had some fights before the UFC. I can't remember how many. I'm trying to look right now, but now I'm all messed up. Trying to find my card here. Seems like that always happens, doesn't it, Ray?
It does, sir.
You know what we need? A producer. Yeah, that's right.
That is true.
The truth is we even have one. It's just we just don't talk to him. That's our fault.
No, and he might be producing another podcast. That son of a bitch.
You know what though? Who gives you money, buddy? Who gives you money?
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm not gonna fight with him for it. Yeah, he's had some fights in the UFC. He's had 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is his third. So he's had some before. He fought Gilbert Burns. This guy, when he fought Gilbert Burns in 2019. Oh, Mike Davis. Okay. Yeah, well, that's a tough fight, man. You're in there with Gilbert Burns, man. You're in there with monsters. So you know how things work. And he's fighting this kid as his first fight in the UFC. But dude, this Mason Jones kid's really good. All I can say about this fight is it's back and forth, mostly stand-up war. It's great. Watch it. It's got fight of the night. It's awesome. First fight I watched, and I'm like, geez, okay, we're doing this then, huh?
Interesting.
We're for real tonight, huh? Mike Davis, badass job being a really tough kid. Mason Jones is going to be back, man. He's good, and it's from Wales, man. Which I don't know how many guys we have from Wales. I could think we had UFC had 3.
Yeah, there's not many.
It was Jack Marshman, John Phillips, I think, and this kid, and they just released one of them. I think Phillips. So not too many. They may have more. There may be more, but those are the ones I can remember about Wales. And I mean, if you're seeing the map behind me, I think my head is in the way of Wales.
Mm-hmm. You're right in about the England, or you're right in front of the English.
True. My head is in England right now. Yeah.
Wales is a little bit south, I want to say.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Or no, north of England, and that, but it's like to the right, I think.
It's the Ringo of the UK, but
yeah.
Well, you know what? Though? There's more map than you can see behind me, but like ones I got here, I actually thought we may have been hung it up a little high, but you can't see the bottom. That's good. We got you see the US on my right here, right? There's even a little dot for Ohio and Cleveland.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then we got Abu Dhabi's on my left here. So
That is
it's
where
good.
UFC 257 will be taking place, and also where UFC Fight Island 8 took place.
That's true. And as we move on to the next fight, I'm gonna have Ray set that up as I show you guys on my map. If you're watching on the internet, where Abu Dhabi is. Oh, I found it before. Abu Dhabi, there it is. Abu Dhabi.
What? And you watched all the prelims, yes?
Nope.
Okay.
I think I missed a couple. You know what happened? I fell asleep after I watched two. I watched Davis Jones when I was very tired.
Okay.
That's what happens when you have undiagnosed sleep apnea, probably.
Yes.
You're always tired. You wake up tired with headaches. Sometimes you wake up and tackle your nightstand. It happens.
Well, let's move on.
So I had to, you got a nap, and I took a nap, and I missed some of them. But this one I watched.
This was pretty.
This was nice.
Omari Akhmedov versus Tom Breeze. A really good fight in the first round. I liked it. It was definitely kind of an uneventful first round. But it was both men definitely came out wanting to fight. And then Akhmedov just decided, hey, we're gonna do some chokey today and see what happens. What was your thoughts on it, Tim?
Right. This is second round arm triangle.
Yes.
Correct? This was sick. The arm triangle was sick because it was a fun transition for there, right? It was try to remember. Shoot. Man, it's a memory thing, right? Jeez. Either way, I know he gets the second round arm triangle, and it was great. It was beautiful arm triangle. What was weird about it was, and I think was it alcohol and cigarettes did this fight? Yeah. I can't remember. He did. Okay.
Good old Keith
Peterson's. Okay, he had a tough decision here because this was weird. Because he was I don't think it was Keith Peterson. It wasn't Keith Peterson.
No, it was
I don't know who it was. It was one of the guys I didn't recognize.
Yeah, it was like a newer ref too.
So the point is, he was trying to check Tom Breeze's arm to see if he was out or not. Mm-hmm. And at first, you see, I think most refs probably would have stopped it. I was waiting for him to stop it because usually, if you're a fighter and a ref checks your arm, you should jerk it up and give him a thumbs up or whatever. Be like, hey, man, I'm still with it.
Yeah.
That's what they're looking for you to do, is to pull it back, right? And he didn't really. It kind of just floated there. And you're like, holy shit, is he out? And you get worried. I'm like, is this referee honestly letting this dude choke this dude out while he's unconscious still? He's just going to let this happen. That's what I was thinking. Then all of a sudden, Tom Breeze taps out normal. And I'm like, okay, so what the hell was happening? So I ended up, you know what? I feel great for the ref because it ended up working out for him, right? Because at first I'm like, this guy's going to get destroyed. They're going to hate this guy. Man, they may take this guy's license. Like he's letting the guy unconscious get choked for 10 more seconds. Are you serious right now? This may kill a guy. It could kill somebody. Then all of a sudden, Tom Breeze taps out normal. And you're like, oh, I guess he knew what he was doing. I don't know. To me, it looked like he was out.
Oh no, that was one thing about watching this fight that was sort of the I don't know. I was watching it live as it happened. And I was yelling the dudes out, but the referee apparently felt some kind of tension in Tom Breeze's arm, besides the fact that he wasn't out. I thought he was out as well, and I was kind of mad at the referee until I saw Tom Breeze tap. And they even questioned it on the commentary, like, why would you let your arm just go limp like that when you're like, what was the thought process in that? Because it makes you, as the fighter, kind of look like you're out to begin with.
I'm just happy the ref ended up being right.
Yeah.
He's like I said, if he wasn't, man, that would have been bad for him, man.
Oh, he would have reached GOAT status, and not in a good way. If Tom Breeze would have been out and there would have been some kind of damage to Tom Breeze, like mentally, from lack of oxygen or something like that.
Just because we haven't seen him before doesn't mean he hasn't done thousands of fights. He may have. He probably has.
Yeah.
So, he has getting a big card in Abu Dhabi. I'm sure. I don't know where he's from. I don't remember his name, but obviously he knows what he's doing. And good for him, man. He got it right. And everyone was saying this guy was nuts. He's wrong, but he's figured something out. He felt something when he grabbed Tom Breeze's arm, and he was correct.
Yeah.
But thank goodness, because like you said, if it was wrong, man, that would have been brutal.
Oh, it would have been terrible, dude. Like, you
You
imagine
hold the guy when he's already unconscious.
Kim somebody in MMA,
Yeah,
like as a referee.
that could possibly happen, right? If you're the guy. Oh man, geez, let's quickly talk about just the thought of that, right? Because it could always happen, right? What if a guy has a guy in a choke and the ref says no, he's not unconscious, and you keep choking him? And as a fighter, I mean, what if something really bad did happen? What if he did possibly die afterwards? What are you thinking? As a fighter, you'd be like, I should have let go. The ref didn't tell me to let go, but I should have known. I should have let go, right? But at the same time, you can't really blame the fighter for it. It's really the ref's fault. But then, people would still blame the fighter for it. But, okay, here's the thing. Let's just not have that happen, right? It looked like it was going to happen with the Tom Breeze fight, but apparently that ref knew what he was doing. So sorry, sir. Good job on your part.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So honestly, I was holding my breath while he was checking his arm because I'm like, what is going on? I was screaming at the TV, stop the fight, stop the fight. But obviously he was right. And when I saw him tap, I'm like, oh, thank God. Thank God. He tapped normal. It's like a normal tap. I'm like, oh, thank God. I don't know what Tom Breeze was doing because, I mean, I think a lot of refs would have stopped that fight when he grabbed his arm. So if you're trying to like bait somebody, that's weird. That'd be a weird thing to bait someone to make them think you're unconscious. Unless he was in and out. I mean, that probably is what happened. He was a little bit in and a little bit out.
It could be. I mean, and that arm triangle was pretty tight as well. So that was the one negative of like that whole situation was how tight Akhmedov had just on a squeeze portion. Let's move on to the next fight because I wasn't familiar with this guy beforehand. Lerone Murphy is a goddamn savage, and
I missed this one.
You did? Since I missed some, and you were able to pick up some of the slack on the first fight we talked about. Lerone Murphy for 3 rounds just dominated Douglas De Silva Andrade, or Douglas Silva de Andrade. It was this kid. I think he's an English product. Really good kickboxer. My microphone cut out for a second, but really good kickboxer. And was able to keep distance the entire fight to really make it an just unbelievable one-sided victory for Lerone Murphy. And I can't wait to see more of this kid. And it's definitely because De Silva too. De Silva, like he De Andrade. I wanted to say De Silva, but that's not right. De Andrade was keeping in there, man. Like he was making it a dogfight for Murphy, which is always good to see. De Silva or De Andrade has fought in the UFC before, but I think this was Lerone Murphy's either UFC debut or like second to third MMA or UFC fight, which it's always kind of fun to see. But yeah, that kid is going to be something. So and the featherweight division's got another little wrinkle, which is wonderful. This fight though,
this is so I was going to say this is Murphy's third UFC fight. He had he had a split draw against the guy's name I can't pronounce back in September 19. And then last year he beat Ricardo Ramos by ground and pound in the first round. It was July. So this is third in the second win. I mean, he's undefeated. This kid, 29 years old, and he is a featherweight. Correct? So, yeah, man. Yeah, you're right. This is an English dude. I'm excited to see this guy fight again too. Quickly, before you move on to the next fight, I wanted to say this. You got one of the Habib brothers, one of the Magomedovs fought Magomedov earlier. Umar got a really quick win here, and it was the second round where naked choke. He's undefeated. Yeah, the Magomedovs are tough. They're all tough. It's another undefeated one. He can wrestle and submit people, so look out for this dude. Of course, obviously, and this is in the bantamweight division. Yeah, they're all tough.
Well, let's move on from non-relevance to relevance, everybody. As Matt Schnell took on Tyson Nam, and I don't know if you watched this fight, Tim.
I did, yeah.
But Matt Schnell just and nothing against Tyson Nam in this one. Tyson Nam,
MTV's Matt Schnell.
he knows Kurt Loder.
Yeah, Kurt Loder. That's the name.
Oh, Kurt Loder. But this fight, man, what I liked about this fight in general was both guys are incredibly fast.
Super fast.
And that made this whole fight entertaining. Tyson Nam obviously came out in the short end, but Matt Schnell, it was funny. Gooden brought this up. He thought it was kind of funny that the German word for Schnell is fast, and Matt Schnell was literally beating Tyson Nam to the punch every single time when they tried to trade. It was ghost-like. It was wonderful, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think out of the two of them, Tyson Nam is the more of a power puncher, but Snell, I mean, they're both fast. But the fact is, Snell's faster than Nam means he's super fast, right?
It's crazy.
And I mean, so he just number wise struck him. He had, he definitely won the fight in my opinion. I think it was a bummer that it was even a split decision. I thought that was weird. I didn't know how anyone could score it for Nam, but Snell was great. He's fast. He volume strikes. Boom, boom, boom. He was great. He looked awesome. Yeah, this is like we said, MTV's Matt Schnell because he was on. He's like the one really successful dude from that show back in the day, Caged, right? That amateur MMA show.
Yeah,
on MTV. Yeah, he was on that.
God, I forgot.
And he was on the Ultimate Fighter, so this guy's like all reality show. This guy, right?
He's the Miz of UFC.
Right? And what's great about it is he's good. He's really good. He's been on 2 different reality shows. I mean, Ultimate Fighter is common, right? But also Caged and Ultimate Fighter. And he's great, and he's a really good lightweight, featherweight, flyweight, blah 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 blah, flyweight, and I'm excited to see him his next fight. He's a top 10 guy, right? So he's going to get another top 10 guy here soon. Maybe Brandon Royale would be a good fight for him if they haven't fought already. I haven't checked.
I would like to see him versus Royval. That would actually be a really good fight. I think that would just because, again, his speed was on display against Nam, so it was kind of awesome to see somebody like just the amount of times that he would meet with a combination after Tyson Nam through like his own combination, and it would be 8 times faster than what Nam was throwing. It was pretty sweet, dude. I liked it.
Yeah. I wanted to mention this because I told you about this. So Saturday after the fights, I got a text from my uncle, who's an airline pilot.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Hey, do you know who Matt Schnell is?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, I just watched him fight Tyson Nam. I just did, and he won. Yeah, I know who Matt Schnell is. Yeah." And he's like, "Well, I'm flying with his dad right now. He says his son just fought in Abu Dhabi." I'm like,
That's awesome.
Yeah. Apparently, his dad's an airline pilot.
He did send me that text. Yeah.
I did say that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I just sent him back. Yeah, Washington just beat Tyson Nam. That's pretty cool. That's all I got back. I didn't send anything like, "Let me talk to him" or anything like that.
You didn't say take a picture with him.
Bro, tell him bro, Plata every 10 minutes through the entire flight.
Anytime you're about to go into the tower, just say, bro, Plata 1 to tower. Bro, Plata 1. That's my nephew's that's my nephew's podcast.
Yeah. Which is much more important than the other pilot's son being a UFC fighter. Yeah. So that was cool. That was neat. It was funny because you know Matt Schnell. I'm like, yeah, just watch him fight. So yeah, that was cool. The thing is, I was taking a nap when he sent me that. So he probably sent me that text before they took off. So if I would have responded right away, I could have said things like, "Tell him about the podcast," right? That'd be like the world's weirdest end to try to get somebody on the podcast, right? "Hey man, my uncle worked with your dad one time."
Yeah.
Is that a thing? That's cool, right? Heard your dad's a pilot for United. Yeah.
Uncle Bob thinks your dad's really cool.
Yeah, but that was pretty cool. That was just a neat.
Oh yeah,
that's just a neat bro Plata inside kind of thing we got there.
Oh, I have a bunch of friends. I have a bunch of people I know that if they actually did that, they would send me pictures of like them with famous people and be like, "Fuck you," because I'm a famous person whore. Like
I can see that happening. I can see if you and I are somewhere and you see a bunch of fighters, you're gonna be like, hey, take a. You're gonna go. They're gonna be eating dinner, and you're gonna be like, I want a picture
No,
with them. Please don't be that
there's
guy.
rules
There
to
are rules.
engaging with celebrities. There's always rules.
Yeah,
It's
and they're pretty simple, man.
yeah, don't
They're
fuck with them while
eating.
they're eating.
If they're with their family, you got to think about it. Like, what are they doing?
Mm-hmm.
They're just walking. If they're just walking down the street with their family, like, sometimes you can just say hi. You don't want to stop them. Really, if they're with
Yeah,
their kids, if they're with kids, don't
yeah.
leave them. You can say hi, but you don't want to stop them for a picture if they're here with their kids.
No, you don't want to take away their attention or anything like that for a long period of time.
Right.
My celebrity photos that are on there, like a lot of them I had when I was at an intern at iHeartMedia,
Mm-hmm.
which was fun. But there's been some times where like I've never interrupted somebody when they're eating. If somebody's like, "Oh yeah, there's so and so," I'd be like, "Oh, that's cool," and then go back to eating because I'm like, they're eating. Why would I want to go fuck with them? My favorite one that I ever did was Dolph Ziggler, the WWE wrestler. Was at an AIW show, an Absolute Intense Wrestling show, which I love those guys. Shout out to them. Can't wait to go do to more of those shows. I want to take you to one of them because I think you would actually enjoy it.
I'll go.
But he was just sitting there watching the matches, and I was over at the concession stand at Turner's Hall, which is this old gymnasium in off of Lorraine Road in Cleveland. And he was just chilling there, and a couple friends of mine were like, "Hey, Dolph Ziggler's right there," and I went, "Oh my god, that's Dolph Ziggler!" Or like, and my brother was like, "Don't bother him." I'm like, "I'm just gonna go say hi and shake his hand." That's always what you do if you're in a crowded place and somebody looks like they don't want to be noticed. Just if you notice them, walk up and be like, "Hey, how you doing?" and then walk away. That's all you
Right.
got to do. Never be a dick about it. I hate people who are assholes about it.
Right. The last I call it celebrity, quote unquote. To me, it's bigly celebrity and Cleveland celebrity for sure. Photo I took was it last year or in 2019 at Indians game. Carlos Viagra was there with Jarrett Wright and Trevisano. They're doing like a round table in the outfield. And
Yeah.
people were walking by like before the game. People were walking by like they're just these guys, right? Not a ton of people, but a handful of people who recognized them. Less people recognize Jarrett Wright, which is kind of funny. But so he was there, and when they stopped, he got up and he was going to go to walk into a box or something, or into it towards the elevator to go to a box. And he took pictures with a couple people. I was having to be standing there. I'm like, Carlos, real quick. My buddy took a picture for me. And yeah, but it's Carlos Viagra, man. And he was expecting that, right? And he probably likes to do that.
Yeah.
It wasn't too many. It wasn't weird. It was like, hey, buddy, can I have a picture? Thank you, Carlos. It's on my Instagram at Dick Danko. It's on there. It's one of my favorite pictures. I'm not even one of those people who try to get pictures with people very often, but that one does seem like a very easy opportunity and not a big deal.
One of my favorite like celebrity athlete ones that I ever ran into was Kenta Colby from the Pittsburgh Pirates '79 team. What?
So you gonna tell the Mario Lemo story again? Lamau, how you say his name?
No. Kenta Colby.
Okay.
Pitcher for the Pittsburgh, the sidearm pitcher for the Pittsburgh Pirates in the '70s.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I didn't get a picture with him, but I met him, and I was my mom had gotten us luxury seats at PNC Park via Schwabel's Bread for my birthday.
Schwabel's.
And it's one oh god, what was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought. Oh, I was just walking through the high end section of PNC Park, and I look, and all of a sudden I'm like, holy shit, it's Kenta Colby. And all I could say was, Mr. Colby, I'm a huge fan, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, you're too young to know who I am. And shakes my hand and walks away.
Yeah, I hear people give that one a lot. Yeah. Again, my uncle was telling me when he met Ron Jarowski. Jaws.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in line like at a coffee place at the airport, and he turned around and he's like, Jaws, and he said, you're too young to know who I am. Which, I don't think that's necessarily true. My uncle's like 50, so.
And then I'm trying to think of who was the Pirates catcher in the '70s.
I don't know.
Oh man, I can't remember. Let me look it up. Pittsburgh Pirates catcher 79. Manny Sanguian. I met Manny Sanguian a bunch because he has his own stand. He had his own stand at PNC Park that made really good barbecue. Like this
Cool.
shit was the best. And he on Sundays would sit at his stand and just sign autographs for all the fans. It was like almost he blackmailed the Nuttings into being like, put my name on this. I'm signing autographs, motherfucker. And I loved every fucking Sunday. I would see Manny Sanguian just like chilling at his barbecue thing, and I'd have like a pulled pork sandwich, and I'd get a pie. I had like five Manny Sanguian autographs at one point. Like, and it was like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, that's the kind of person I am too. Like, I want to get a picture with like the backup catchers, like Sal Fasano. I want a good Sal Fasano photo.
Sal, I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Right.
I remember I used to there when I used to go to Pirates games. I would always have. Alan's commenting, by the way. Let's see what Alan has to say.
Oh, damn it, Alan! Alan's here.
How many exercises did you do today, Tim?
You know what, Alan? No, okay, listen. He's okay. I forget. You can't forget that we. This is a podcast.
I'm gonna win the hair contest.
Right. So it's how many exercises did you do today, Tim? Is it 0 because that's one less than I did? Looks like I'm gonna win the haircut. Okay. So the haircut contest. All right. So yesterday. He keeps giving me crap because he doesn't want me to die. All right, it's coming from a loving place, but he's like, did you exercise? I don't want you to die. Because he's well aware that the way I'm living isn't great for my health, right? But he says that, and then he said we needed to make some sort of bet. And I said, well, my motivation is better if for something, for fear, right? Something I want prohibited, right? Rather than winning something, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm more afraid of like losing something than winning something. So, I said, my hair, I don't want my hair gone. Like if you say, if you lose, you got to shave my head or something like that. I'm like, that would be awful. So that's what he said. He said that's, in this if I don't lose, and actually what it is, if he gains more weight than I lose, which the thing is, if I start now, Alan, I'm fine with you dying, but it can't be due to you being a fat ass. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, he would be proud of me if it was something crazy, right? Like if it was a high speed car chase of some sort or something.
Oh, I think we would all be if you OJ'd yourself. That would be actually a decent way to go out.
No, if OJ kills someone, we don't.
No, I meant like the car chase.
Yeah, car chase. Yeah, white Bronco. Sure. Actually, you know what, man? If I'm gonna go down in a white Bronco chase, Alan better be with me. Like that's something we need to put on our bro bucket list is a white Bronco chase. Anyway, but the ramping the Grand Canyon acceptable. Yeah, see, that's fine. Like Evil Knievel shit, it'd be fine. Yeah. But what would we I was gonna say, I forget. Oh, the bet was that I had to lose more weight than he gains, which I mean, like, dude, he can't put on weight. Even when he drinks beer every day,
he can't put on weight.
6'2".
Okay. How much do you think he weighs?
What do you weigh, Alan? But 180 now, which is the most I mean, in high school he weighed like 130, right?
Jesus.
So like, yeah, he has a little paunch now because he drinks beer, but he's lifting weight. So he's saying if I put on more weight, then you lose. The thing is, if I start now, Alan, I probably have time to relapse, right?
Yeah. That's
the weight. Right? I mean, what's the most? 185. He says he weighs. Like, what's the most he can put on? Like, he's not going to put on more than 15. 15 would be nuts pounds of muscle. He's not going to put on more than that. That'd be nuts.
Oh God, I think I've put on like 30 or 40 since like all this quarantine bullshit's come on.
Oh yeah, no, this was a terrible year for me, quarantine wise. We'll see who has hair in 2022. Yeah, okay, yeah. Apparently, I don't know. We'll see. I'm thinking we're gonna go down there next weekend, and if I do, if my car makes it, we're gonna weigh in, and then we'll start. Okay.
We need to take video of this.
I'd like to see you lose 15 pounds. Okay, yeah, that's the point.
I think honestly, if Tim stopped with the beer, because as I'm drinking beer, which I need to stop,
I could lose 15 pounds in a week.
Yeah,
I have so much excess.
It's all alcohol.
I'm not going to.
I feel like you
Only
can
thing
make.
you can lose is your sobriety. Yeah, like that's a thing.
Like that's a thing.
As I'm drinking from a mysterious cup right now.
Yes, you are, sexy boy. And he has the challenge. He threw it down.
So then do it. Okay, yeah. So this is the thing. If we haven't said it correctly, is I've been challenged, or way less challenged, Alan, and apparently there's no winners, only losers, right? So I haven't quite
You
picked
know
out
what?
what Alan's punishment is if I do win this. Well, I think of multiple things. Emo swoop was one. 90s boy band like Bleach and Spike was another one.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's worse. Like the thing is, he's had the emo swoop since I've known him. I think.
He's throwing down the challenge now. See you next
No,
week, pretty
I'm
boy.
coming down next week. I don't know what we're gonna do. Alan, did you find anything for us to do next week in Columbus? We can just go
Well,
out to
here's
eat a bunch
also
of things. That's
I
fun.
will
I always like doing that.
I'm gonna
You gonna
I
throw your
will
hat in the ring?
throw my hat in. I'll actually throw my hair in as well and start the weight loss challenge starting Monday if you want. I'm
Well,
down.
give me one more. We're weighing
I'll be
in.
the third man in this.
Weighing in next week. All right. I think you and
Starting
I have
next
to do a
week.
separate one. You and I have to do a separate one.
No, I'll join this one.
Well, you don't. Well, Alan's is set up for me to win. So you can't.
Oh, I'm not.
Figure
I'm
it
more
out.
betting on you than I am
Okay.
anything. But
Oh,
I'm gonna
okay. I
lose
got you.
weight because I have faith in you. And if
Okay.
you lose, meaning
Mhm.
I lose, I cut this all the way down to the skin.
What
With
if we win?
with a
What do
razor.
you get on top of it? What do you get on top of it? You know
Just the
what?
satisfaction of losing
Okay.
weight.
Okay.
Because I will also because I'm starting work. I started a job Monday,
That will
so I'm
probably
gonna
help,
be up
though,
and down.
man. That will probably help. Just
Yeah.
help my brother anytime he's at a job because time you're not sitting around doing nothing. It'd probably help me. If I had a shitty
And my
minimum wage
job,
job, I'd
the
probably
easiest job, one of the easiest jobs on the planet. It's cleaning air ducts, which is like easier than you realize.
this
Like
seems like labor to me.
it's really not. Believe it or not, it's an easy gig. You just you need to be smarter than the actual tools you're working with, which are just air hoses. So
Okay.
it's I had an air duct cleaning job in the summer, like during the quarantine, and loved it. The company was great. There was one guy that I just didn't want to deal with. And it's definitely I'm down though. I will put my hair up if you put your hair up and he puts his hair up.
We'll figure something out.
I'm
Like I said,
down.
we're weighing in. Because I don't have a good scale at this house, so I'm going down there. So we're gonna weigh in. All right,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're gonna drink more beer and probably make it worse. So yeah. Thing is, so I'm very close to $3 bills. Very close. Like
Okay.
very close.
I'm probably about in the low 220 maybe.
220 would be amazing for me. That'd be a great weight for me. So I'm thinking, yeah, just the thing is, I don't really want to get there. Although my uncle, the same uncle I was talking about, was like, dude, you need to get there to this point. He's like, you have to hit the threshold. Have to. You know what? I will say this. If I do
I
hit
want
it,
Bro Plata to last another 5 years, you fuck.
yeah. If I do get to the 300 zone, you'll know. Because I'm gonna post on Facebook about myself being fat, and I'm gonna take pictures of it like I'm celebrating it. In reality, it's gonna be me crying. And yeah, I'm gonna talk shit about myself on the internet for getting 300 pounds. And I'm close. I mean, I'm like 10 pounds away or less. So it's a problem.
I get it. I got to start losing weight again. And now that I have a gig again, I'm going to start rolling again, which is going to be fun. Hopefully I can get some of the guys from the gyms besides American Revolution that I know.
I believe my 7-year-old niece is about to start judo at Route 250.
Ooh.
I hope she likes.
And I will come down there now that I have a gig as well. So I'll come down when practice happens for 250. We can go to that as well. I like that.
That'd
Start fucking doing martial arts together and being brothers on a martial arts level.
Yeah. I do like doing that. I did. The thing is, man, like my hips hurt and like everything hurts, but
well, that's what jujitsu's for.
That's the thing is with all those martial arts, you don't have to be good at it, man, to do it.
You just have fun.
Right. And most of the people I've done stuff with are very cool,
Mhm.
it's not like, I don't know, man. If I tried to I thought wrestling would have been cool in high school, but I see everyone that does it. I'm like, and I hear some of my friends tried it out and they're, dude, those guys, come on, man. I mean,
Uh,
those guys are good guys right now, but I'm like, at the time, I don't know, man. It might have been kind of tough to be in the
I've
wrestling team.
never met a dickhead martial artist in my life. Like I've met some guys where I'm like, I don't want to hang out with you outside of the gym, but when I see you in the gym, we're cool. But
Right.
like, never have I met somebody where I'm like, you are way too fucking aggro for this place. Like,
Right.
what the fuck?
No, I'm assuming even Julian Lane's a decent guy to train with. I don't let me bang, bro, Julian Lane.
Uh, but let's talk about this fight because I was kind of sad by the result because I do like Roxy, but definitely Arujo or Arajo, if I can pronounce this stuff right. She lit Roxanne up for
She
3
did.
rounds, just beat the piss out of her.
She did. She did. And you know what? The first thing I thought about, and it's not fair to Arajo, however you say her name. But I'm like, man, Roxanne Manafera is a tough chick, man. That's a tough lady.
Fuck yeah, she is, brother.
We already
And I've
knew. We already knew
always said
that.
that about Roxy.
And I love her. She's great. You also, I mean, you had someone who coming out and say, "Hey, I'm here, top 10, beat another top 10." Actually, someone she was actually ranked behind, beat her like that. Great job by Rajo, how we say her name. She did awesome. She had a great fight. But I love Roxanne. Right? I mean, we got to get her on. I really want to have her on.
Yeah, I want to try and get Roxanne Modafferi on this show, just because I love the cosplay, even though I'm like sort of anti cosplay. But
Anti-cosplay. Why?
I'm anti cosplay and LARPing because like being a pro wrestling fan, it's
Yeah.
kind of like
That
I've
is
been
like
made fun
one of
of
my
by people who
one of my
cosplay, and I'm
favorite
like, come
bits.
on.
One of my favorite bits of yours is the fact that you just say that how nerdy wrestling fans are compared to everyone else on earth, and it actually is true.
We're
Like, I
the
have a lot of fans,
lowest.
I have a lot of friends that are wrestling fans, but yeah, when you guys get really into it, it's kind of like, all right, man. And I don't, and like again, I don't have a problem with wrestling. I like some wrestling a little bit, but it is funny because it really is true. Because
We're
you
the
can't
low
give shit
man on
to
that
anybody.
totem pole.
You
Like
can't even
that's
give,
all we
yeah,
are.
bronies are above you. Like,
Yeah. My brother's one, so and he's a
yeah,
wrestling fan too.
yeah. Do you
And he
use bronies
cosplays.
in your bit? You should use bronies in your bit. You do whatever you want with your bit. It's your
See, I
bit.
get too angry because, like, with that bit, like, I've actually had Jerry Jaffe, who's a good friend of ours, who's like, "You got to stop doing that bit because you're making fun of like other nerds at the expense, like, because you were a nerd." I'm like, "Yeah, because we're low on that totem pole,
Yeah,
and like
I
we're
don't know. It's one of those things where they win, right? In your bit, they're beating you, right? You're
yeah,
coming out the bottom of the bit. So I yeah,
I'm
right,
punching up, if anything."
right. Yeah, you punch it up. So I don't know. But this is
Because I
also
mean,
coming from Jerry, who's into a lot of different stuff. Who's one of my
and I
favorite people
love
on earth.
Jerry. I like it. You've mentioned on the podcast. I did his action nerd comedy podcast
Mhm.
with his dad in Toledo. Like, and his dad was impressed by me and Dan Brown's knowledge.
We
So
need to get Dr. Jerry Graham Jr. on this podcast.
I would love that.
You know what though? When I talked, okay. For those that don't know, our friend comedian Jerry Jaffe, his father is Dr. Jerry Graham Jr., the wrestler,
Yes,
and
son of
so
legendary and Vince McMahon's favorite wrestler of all time, Jerry Graham. Yeah, the guy used to light
yes,
$100 bill or cigars with $100 bills back in the day.
right, yeah. Dr. Jerry Graham is one of the really legendary even I know this old school wrestlers, and
Have you?
he decided he wanted to have a son character, and that's Jerry's dad got that.
Yeah.
So that's it's pretty cool, and I've seen at least one of his matches online, and I really want to talk to him about old school wrestling because I do like the history of it, just because it's like history of entertainment, and as
Yeah.
someone who's in quote unquote entertainment, you see shit and things, and that's always fun to hear people who've seen shit and things, like the people in the territory wrestlers back in the day.
Have you ever heard the old Jerry Graham story about his mother?
No, but hold on, let me
Finish your
Yeah,
thought,
yeah,
and then
let me finish
I'll
this.
tell the
It's
story.
no, I was just saying the problem was Jerry's dad knowing how to operate the internet.
Yes. Yeah.
But
So
the thing is, apparently he said he can use his phone, and we have StreamYard now, so we can literally just text him the link,
yes.
and he has to push 2 buttons, and we got
Mhm.
him. So I think we can get this done.
Yeah, and Mr. Graham is an amazing guy, awesome dude. And even the conversation afterwards, after the podcast was over, he was still willing to answer a lot of our questions and kind of talk about it. And having a guy who grew up in the, I hate to say it, the dying days of the territories in the 80s, because like 85 was really like starting the death knell of like multiple territories. And for a guy like that to have the experiences he did in the area that he did, especially Detroit to Indianapolis, is outrageously awesome. But Jerry Graham, the original Jerry Graham, um, apparently his mother was in a nursing home and she had passed away, and he goes into the nursing home with a golf bag filled with rifles and like grabs her dead body and like takes it out of the nursing home. And like he got arrested for it. There's like a whole story.
Whoa. So he found out she died. He just went to grab her body by
Yeah, it went
himself,
fucking nuts.
and he had guns.
Yeah.
This is confirmed.
Yes.
That's nuts. Okay,
Yeah.
what's going
Oh no,
on there?
that's a legit story in wrestling history. Is
Huh.
like Jerry Graham getting arrested for trying to steal his mom from like a nursing home she died in.
Mm.
Oh my god, there's so like, and that's why I love pro wrestling. Is I don't like current day stuff. I'm not a fan of a
Well,
lot
you
of
know
current
this
day
about
stuff.
me, man. I'm interested in the history of it because I
Yeah,
think it was really neat. But no, I
there's
don't watch wrestling currently. I don't have a problem with it. It's entertainment. It's cool. It's fun. I like entertain all kinds of entertainment. That's fun. It's cool. I have no problem with it at all.
yeah.
Actually, I have a lot of respect for those guys and girls. But
The,
also I have a new wrestling crush. I'll tell you that in a second.
ooh.
Yeah. But the history of it is really interesting because this is how the shit and things they went through and whatnot in the territory days, and yeah, it's super interesting, man. I mean, that's my favorite part of the Andre the Giant documentary. Well, the whole thing was great. The Andre Giant documentary. They talked about the period stuff.
Yeah.
Excuse me, the territory stuff.
Except for
Was
that
really
bald
cool.
guy, that was a good. Except for that bald wrestling historian,
Okay, I
he,
don't remember, but I believe you.
yeah, he was a fraud.
Yeah. So
but,
one of my favorite bands always, and I don't think I think Alan gave up on us, but we've seen this band multiple times together. We're trying to see him again recently, but Bowling for Soup is one of my favorite bands.
oh
They
my
did
god,
a
I love
song.
Bowling for Soup.
They did a song about Alexa Bliss. It's
Yes,
called Alexa Bliss.
yeah.
Right? So I didn't know who she was until that song came out, and I heard she's from Columbus, and I checked her out, and all right, now I have a crush on Alexa
To
Bliss.
Akron,
Akron?
yeah,
Okay.
Akron or Kent State, I can't remember, but she was a cheerleader for one of the colleges up here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. She's awesome though. I like her.
Yeah, I like
her.
it, and I like her finishing move, that twisted bliss off the occasion, that little that turn. She just flying through the air. She's like 5 foot tall. She just flies through the air and turns, and she lands in it. Yeah, it's great. She's awesome. It's my new favorite.
Dude, what they're doing with her right now and the Fiend Bray Wyatt is completely awesome. I'll send you some like wrestling or some stuff from the YouTube of WWE after we get off the air.
That makes sense. She's a cheerleader, though, man, because this is what they go after, right? They go after people who are athletic and can do some gymnastics and whatnot. And that's an athletic move. I mean, that's a gymnast move. She does twisted bliss. What she does, she flies through the air.
Yeah,
right. Jumps off the turnstile.
Yeah,
and she turns a decent bit, and she lands in like a pin position.
Yes,
I've watched a bunch of them, and they're great.
She and she was, to be honest with you, she was one of the like the actual highlights. I mean, for her size, they kind of built her as almost like a female Kevin Sullivan for wrestling fans that are watching this. She was just this little monster who tormented and beat up every bigger person, or found a way to smart them into the victory. And to be honest with you, a girl like that needed to be in the WWE, because also there's one thing wrestling, you can be the greatest fucking wrestler on the planet Earth, but much like, a guy that we're going to be talking about here soon, if you can't fucking talk and get those people who are casuals to buy pay-per-views, to watch the WWE network, you can be the greatest wrestler in the world, but you fucking suck. I'm sorry.
Right.
Like, I need a personality to the guy that's doing the shit.
Right. It's even a bigger deal in wrestling.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big deal in MMA, and that's a real fighting sport. Right?
Yeah. Well, let's stop using the word real.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
It's still real to me, damn it.
No, okay. You want me to say non-fixed? I mean, that, you know what I mean by real. Like I said, I know. Again, wrestling's fixed. It's not fake, right? I've said this. I agree with you.
No, and I'm not saying you have. It's just
right.
The real sport. To me, it's always going to be a real sport. Like,
I'm not saying it's a real sport either. I said that MMA is a real fight, which means there's a guy trying to beat the other person, or a girl trying to beat the other person, and they're fighting for real, and they haven't decided the winner unless it's Bob Sapp.
Or a lot of pride fights.
Pride fights
for sure.
One like Mark Coleman fight where he lost that wacky heel hook and he tapped like ridiculous, like, "He got me, everybody. Did you see me tapping?" Yeah.
Do you want to know one of my favorite like MMA / pro wrestling moments of all time is?
I don't. Moving on.
Okay.
What's up? What's up?
There is a video of Lyoto Machida wrestling for New Japan Pro Wrestling, and they're doing some kind of like tournament where there's like MMA fighters and New Japan guys on the same card. And Lyoto Machida comes out of the ring, and Antonio Inoki, if you know that name, fought Muhammad Ali. It was like the first cross fight ever, wrestler versus boxer. And Antonio Inoki bitch slaps Lyoto Machida like 3 or 4 times. And like watching it, I'm like, Lyoto Machida could kill. Like, in his day, Antonio Inoki was a fucking savage. Like, the guy would really hit guys and put them in like real, or like, I hate to use that word, but it like physical moves that can actually hurt you. But like, it was like he was in his 60s at the time, or maybe his 50s, and he just slaps a young Lyoto Machida after a wrestling match, and you're like, what the fuck is this man's problem? Like, I know Lyoto could just front kick him and he's gonna be out of the way, but he let Antonio Inoki bitch slap him in the fucking Tokyo Dome, I think it was, or if it wasn't, it was probably the Sumo Arena, but the Saitama Super Arena.
Also, man, like especially in the Pride days, because the Yakuza was funding the thing. Like, if they told you to take a dive, wouldn't you kind of be a little nervous to say no?
Mm-hmm.
Ever? Mm-hmm. I mean, those are gonna more. If an American fighter came over and they're like, "We'll give you this much money, take a dive," and you say no, like, what are they gonna do to you? They can't. I mean, that would be a whole huge thing, right? If an American fighter went over there and they'd come back, right? But still, yeah. Ugh.
You know what else
you just never want to run into, right?
By the way, do you know who I never want to run into in an alley, Tim Danko?
I don't know. Is it a fighter? Is this a weird transition?
It's Ike Villanueva.
Dude, this fight was great.
This is awesome. This was a beefy boy battle, but like one guy was small, and it was wonderful to watch. Like, this is a great fight, dude.
Hurricane Ike Villanueva made me laugh, because if I didn't already know he's from Houston, Texas, if I heard his name is Hurricane Ike Villanueva, I would have figured out he's from Houston, Texas, because Hurricane Ike hit that area in 2008. I know this because I was there.
Oh God.
Yeah. I moved there a month before it hit, and then it hit the area, and I was living with my grandparents, and we got lucky. Our fence got knocked down. That's it. But like one of our neighbors had a tree through the roof and stuff. Like, yeah, we got lucky. But it came like a tornado through our road and messed up a lot of those houses there. It was rough. Have you ever lived through a hurricane, Raymond?
No.
Yeah, it sucked, man.
Luckily, the times that I lived in Houston, it was fairly just Florida getting a lot of the hurricanes going their way. We would get the rainstorms, obviously, from broken off pieces of it, but it wouldn't be like, oh my God, this is the worst shit ever. And I don't remember a hurricane hitting Houston in like 94 to 96.
The closest thing I can compare it to that you've been through is the current pandemic, only because it's not the same, but it's just because when just your normal way of life has been changed drastically and things are just different now. That's what it was like the hurricane, because for a while, I think we got our power back in a week. We didn't have power for a week. And I remember like our neighbors multiple times just having, come eat at barbecues because everyone was trying to get rid of the stuff in their freezer that was going to go bad. It's a good eating that week. It's for that reason. But, no air conditioning in September in Texas, which is nuts.
Oh God.
Yeah. Is that right? And I just started a job, and like right after that, I didn't do it for 2 weeks because they weren't opening, and I had to sit in a line for 2.5, 3 hours with my grandmother to get gas, and like there's lines everywhere. We had to stand in line to get a generator. We got one, but yeah, it was nuts. I mean, it sucked. It was like, the closest thing to that point you lived through that was kind of like apocalyptic scenario, right? There's not enough food, right? The grocery stores are cleaned up. Gas, you have to wait for a long time. It sucked. It sucked a lot. And that was the first time I had that kind of experience. The pandemic's obviously different, but the similarity is the fact that things are just, different, right? And people are scared. So, the difference with the hurricane is once it came through, it was gone, right? So, but it was rough, man, especially so hot with no air conditioning in Texas. Gosh darn it.
I'm looking at this. I didn't. There was not a hurricane the entire time I was in Texas. The first one closest is Hurricane Alicia, which happened in 1983, and then there was nothing for 18 years until Tropical Storm Allison. Hoo-hoo, Allison! I'll do anything for Allison. Hoo-hoo. And then obviously Hurricane Ike in 2008.
Right. Allison and Ike don't sound that scary. Alicia, that sounds terrifying.
Alicia's the kind of girl that'll take like your jewelry after a breakup. Like that's the kind of bitch that is.
Fuck your friends. Yeah. Alicia's a problem. Alicia's a problem, man. But now Hurricane Ike Villanueva, I think that's a great nickname. But it reminded me of the hurricane, and that was rough. And he's young, so I looked it up. He would have been like a teenager when that, like young teenager when that happened. Yeah. But how you say this guy's name? Morea. Morea. Did he got what round was it? Second round knockout of Morea. It was a hook, right? Was this the left hook? Was this that one?
He hit him hard, man.
It was a right. It was an overhand right. It's a big overhand right.
He got him hard, no matter what it was.
Yeah, he hit him bad with an overhand right. And Maria, which was weird, it's like he was like a cyborg that had a glitch in it. That weird combination. He like tried to do a weird. It's like me trying to throw a combination. And he was trying to like do like a weird little bad calf kick and a jab at the same. It's like me if I'm trying to throw bad combinations. Like, okay, which one am I doing next? Okay, I do two things at once. Right. He looked like a robot with a glitch. And when you do that, your combinations are goofy and they don't make sense. And you try to throw through things at once against a guy in the UFC, like who has the power that Ike Villanueva has. This is what's going to happen. He took advantage of that opportunity of him, I don't know, glitching, having some sort of malfunction or backfire or whatever the hell it was, and he just crushed the dude with a big right and knocked him out. So good for Villanueva. This other dude whose name I already forget how to pronounce, Morea, he's got to figure some stuff out because that didn't look good.
Yeah. DC brought it up where you're like, you don't throw a kick and then a punch. That leaves you the fuck open. And he was right.
Right. You just looked at it. It didn't look right. It looked weird.
No.
Whatever he was trying to do didn't make sense. And yeah, he was wide open. And Villanueva capitalized and crushed him with a big right. I mean, he hit him flush and real hard, man. He just destroyed that dude. It was a scary dude.
It was a good way to go into at least like the last 3 fights. That was a great finish to have that way, the way it did. Hats off to Ike Villanueva. But yeah, he smacked Maria in the face and and Maria, yeah, he looked uncomfortable, but he threw from a horribly uncomfortable position. And to be honest with you, it's one of those things where you look at it and you're like, Jesus fucking Christ, what the shit? Like the dude's dead now. And even he kind of looked like, what the fuck just happened? And you kind of look at it and you're like, yeah, that's exactly what it should be. But we go from a really good feel good story to a hometown boy getting just fucked up by Warley Alves.
Yeah, Warley's been out for a while, right?
Yeah.
So this is a feel good story. Warley's back, brother. I think he was an underdog in this fight.
He was.
He hasn't fought since it's been over a year. And he lost to Randy Brown. He hasn't won since May of 2019. He lost 2 or 3. So he's coming in against Laziz, who I thought would win this fight. I was incorrect. He looked great, man. He looked great. He smashed this dude. He got the ground and pound, finished him late. Excuse me, not late. He finished him early in the first round. 2 minutes, 35 seconds in, according to what I'm looking at. And dude, yeah, Warley is back, son.
Yes, he is. That knockout was prettier than the first one. Like that was when I realized we had 2 back-to-back knockouts. It was like, what? Because 2021 has already started off really good with an amazing first card of the year back on the 16th. And then to have these guys on a Wednesday, you're like, oh, fuck, I get fighting on a Wednesday, and then I get 2 knockouts in a row? Give it to me, baby. Let's fucking party, dude.
You know what I forgot to talk about? And we forgot to talk about this before this fight happened. But, like, do you think Dana White and the UFC put this card at noon on Wednesday, the same time as the official inauguration on purpose? That seems like a hard. Dana White's a hard trumper, right? So I feel like I don't know. It's a weird coincidence, man, and it's definitely in his playbook to do that. He would pull that. Like, let's put it on a news and see if we can get people away from Joe Biden. Joe Biden's inauguration.
I don't think he. I don't know.
Give him the benefit of the doubt and say no, but it was pretty funny when I realized that it was at the same time. I'm like, come on, really? Yeah.
I mean, you got to make money somehow, and it's. What's it? I think what we established, it's like a 6-hour or 7-hour time difference from for us.
Well, we got let's see, it's 4:33 there, so we're talking AM. So it's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 hours.
9 hours. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to put it on when it's convenient. Why the fuck not? I hope it's not politically driven, because that would be petty as fuck. But also, when we're talking about petty and the king of petty, it has to go to Eddie Hearn and Dana White. I think those 2 are the kings of petty.
Right. The I Told You So video is still my favorite. The about the pandemic and them having fights in the pandemic, the pat in the back video, that is hilarious. It's so funny.
There's only one thing missing from that video, and it's the theme from 2001: A Sea. Like, if he would have had Ric Flair level theme music for that would have been the greatest pet video ever. Just straight pet all day, every day, and the T is just silent because of how petty it is. Like, Dana White, I love Dana White. Hopefully one day we get enough of a following where we can get Dana White on this show. And I respect. I don't
think it would happen because we talk shit about him sometimes when it's.
But it's out of respect. I mean, I don't
disrespect Dana White ever. You see how he rolls, man. He doesn't let anybody in the building that won't puff him up. We talked about that.
Yeah, but
I mostly puff him up, and I wouldn't even ask him really tough questions. I wouldn't even ask him about fighter pay or anything. But I don't know.
Oh, the softballs I would throw him. Like, it would be
you're right. I would throw him softballs too. But the thing is, when we're not talking to him, I'm not gonna not talk shit about him.
No.
I mean, dude, that shit he said about Spencer Fisher and the CTE and stuff is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, I saw that.
We didn't talk about that. basically, what is going on? He has lesions on his Spencer Fisher has lesions on his brain. They found, and now his wife's taking care of him. He's really rough, right? Rough shape. And Dana White says something like, "Well, we're all dealing with stuff like that." Really? When were you a fighter, Dana White?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe he just a little bit of boxing classes back in the day or something. But just
see now who's not going to get Dana White on this show?
But it's true though. It's true. You can't say that. Dude, especially Spencer Fisher, that fucking led with his head, and he was a fucking monster for years. And when he's having issues because of the head trauma that he got, fighting for you, sir, you say, we all get it. It's one of those things. I didn't like the reaction at all. We'll talk more about that.
Hold on, I got to put my big business hat on. It is what it is. I mean,
I'm not in the mood to have an argument about this right now with you.
I was just making a joke saying Big Business Ray is in the hizzy.
Dude, we can talk about CTE. All right.
No, and I'm not CT, and I'm not downplaying CTE. I refuse to because I think I have it from just years of playing hockey. And down the line, I think it'll get worse. But what are you gonna do on that?
You know what I hate? What I hate is when people say they know what they signed up for. That's why I hate that. Because, dude, how long have we known about CTE? Not very long. And you say they know. How do you know they know? Are you telling them?
Can I give my honest opinion on that question?
Go ahead.
In a full contact sport, that you have watched and have been a fan of, know the risks.
No, yeah, but when you're a kid, no one fucking tells you, Ray.
Oh, that's on parents. That's on parents. My parents told, and I also.
Dude, when you were playing contact sports, when I was playing contact sports, we neither of us were told that. Neither of us knew that was a thing. I didn't know CTE was a thing until I was in my 20s.
Well, no, I didn't know what CTE was, but my parents were very honest. And also, I mean, growing up in the sport that I did, you would see those kind of injuries a lot. You would see, I mean, the biggest one that I can possibly think of is Eric Lindros. If you're familiar with the story of Eric Lindros in the NHL, he was a big-time star. When he got drafted, people were all about it. People were happy about it. They saw great things for Eric Lindros, and he had nothing but concussion problems the entire time he was in the sport or in the NHL. Played for Philadelphia, played for, I think, Chicago at one point, but mostly was known for being a Philadelphia Flyer. And it's just, I mean, you kind of have to look at it like that. I mean, you really do, where you look at the idea of it is just, it's a contact sport. Things happen. Some people get hurt. And it's on the sport itself to address, which UFC has done to a certain extent, but not
to a certain extent. No one's doing it good enough.
I'm not saying they're the gold standard here. No
one is, man. And dude, hockey is still. Are they still saying it doesn't fucking exist? Like, hockey's the fucking worst about this, really, aren't they? The NHL, they're pretending like it's still not a thing.
Oh, hockey. Well, Gary Bettman is just a fucking idiot to begin with. I have opinions on Gary Bettman that go back to 2006.
You know what, man? We need to have a better, longer conversation about this when it has some more facts about CTE. Because I mean, the thing is, you know how I feel about it. You already know, and you know that it pisses me off. Because the thing is, I think that you should make sure that all players and parents really know the risks. Like, oh, they can get their bell rung. No. Listen. I mean, you can say it's on. Okay, it's easy to say this. It's easy to say it's your responsibility to figure that out, right? So you can say that, right? That's part of the argument. You can say that, but I think no way. If you're asking people to do this, especially for like your school, your team, or whatever, or for your organization like the UFC, you should make sure that your people absolutely, positively know the full risk involved in what they were doing.
Yeah,
they're doing, including CTE and including what can happen to you.
Yeah.
Look at all these old NFL players. Look at that. Make sure they fucking know that. And will some of them keep doing it? Dude, most of them, almost all of them will still do it, but make sure they know. That should be on you. That should be on you.
And it's also on the parents.
Like there's concussion training, a lot of people have to go through. They should also go through. There should be some sort of standard head trauma in the future video they give you when you start Pee-wee football or high school football.
Head trauma and
hockey, whatever. Yes. And to our Twitch listener, asked if Amir Azabi won. Amir fights Saturday.
Yes, Amir fights Saturday, sir. So he has not won or lost. Let me put that up here. But yeah, Amir will be fighting. We will talk about this fight or these fights coming up. So stick around.
I can't pronounce the dude's name. He's fighting. He's Zagas Zamamaglov. Zamamaglov.
Bless you.
Know. That's another good. It's the first fight in the card. It's another.
We appreciate you listening, though. I want you to know that right now. Thank you for the comment. Thank you for that. We appreciate it.
That's why I wanted to get to it.
Show us love.
Thank
you. And donate to us as well. That's
really one person. This is what you do. Big business Ray High Class. We get a comment and he's like, "Give us money." He's trying to scare him away.
Where's sad people?
AA9S killer. Don't run away because Ray tried to ask you for money. Thank you for the comment. Thank you for listening. We love you.
Oh yes, we love you. You're probably our only Twitch listener. Thank you.
Hashtag cancel Twitch.
Hashtag cancel Twitch because Tim does not like it.
I have Tourette's syndrome. I found that. anyway.
But I mean, again, we'll have I think that should be on one of the episodes coming up. We have a CTE discussion and have some doctors
we'll get some fighters on. And doctors, we'll do that too.
Let's have. I'll reach out to my guy. You reach out to your guy. We'll have those two also on as well. Because there's one guy I do want to have. His name's Octagon Doc. Check him out on Instagram. He showed interest in being on this. He does videos on YouTube. Going over UFC fights and injuries that may have happened as well.
Dr. Strutter.
That'll be your guy.
Well, yeah, I know you're talking about. He doesn't have an Instagram, I don't think. So I don't know how to get a hold of him. But what I love about his videos, it's actually kind of funny, and I don't blame him for it. It's kind of funny. He also makes music, so he plugs his music on his videos, which I don't know
YouTubers do.
I know, right? I'm like, it's probably good. It is. Not saying it's not good. He's like, hey, by the way, I have music. But I like his channel. That's Dr. Brett Strutter. I don't think I've.
Just send me his stuff. I'll hit him up because I do. I would love to have doctors on talking about CTE.
Me too. There's so many angles, not just doctors and. But
how do you, as a Browns fan, feel that it was found in Pittsburgh? Do you think the Cleveland Clinic should have done it faster?
You know what? That's the Dr. Will Smith, right? Whatever his name. That guy figured that out. And no, I mean, it was Mike Webster, right? It was the first guy.
Yeah.
On CTE. And I mean, you're talking, I mean, and that really sucks, man. That's the most heartbreaking thing. And they say it in the movie is that they thought he was just going crazy. So his family kind of gave up on him. Didn't know he was sick. That's the hardest thing, right? That's the most difficult and the biggest. And still, there isn't a test yet. They're working on it to figure out if someone has it while they're living, and if they cut your brain open after you died. So it's still the biggest bummer, right? Because not knowing is a problem. Like when not knowing I had Tourette's when I was 17, it was like a weight lifted when I found that it wasn't my fault, right?
Oh. Yeah, that to me, that's way more of.
I'm just using this example. The point is,
I'm saying that to me, that's
Mike Webster never lived to know that it wasn't his fault.
This is true,
and his family. I also saw a thing on Real Sports about his family not getting any good compensation from the NFL. They're getting him shit, man. They don't give a fuck. That's another thing.
It's sad how sports.
That's another reason why you need to, even though, you know what, also this gets the NFL off people's, if they make sure that everyone knows the risk, if they tell them, they make them go to seminars and saying, this is what this sport is going to do to you. And that's even good on their part. Right. And that's not even the way I'm going. That's good for big business. Right.
Anyway,
so that way I was trying to lean, but that makes sense.
Well, no. And I put it on, parents and coaches as well.
Right.
At the youth league. Level, telling them, hey, this is a dangerous sport no matter what you do.
If you think every parent is going to scour the internet, I mean, some will, but you think everyone is going to scour the internet to see all these things and see what's going to happen with it. you need to put all the information in one place for them. And you need to tell them what's up and not sugarcoat it and not lie to them, man.
Well, I mean, and also I think we've, as a society, as a human society for millennia, we've watched sports. We've known how dangerous they can be. You do get those savages that just completely, just don't care about the repercussions of what they have on their body and what they do to their own self, how can I put this? Self-being, if you will. It mostly, like, if I had kids, that would be, and they wanted to play like football or one of these sports, I would show them like, hey, this is what can happen to you,
Right.
because I've played the sports before, and I can understand what's going on.
Young kids, they probably wouldn't even get that, but the point
I
is,
think it's more of a progressionary thing.
Over-educate people. That's what I'm trying to say when it comes to this. Make sure they know every risk and then some, right?
This is true. This is true.
Okay, there you go.
Let's move
we need
on.
to talk about this fight before I go to the bathroom. Because I need to go to the bathroom. Let's talk about this fight
I'll
first.
take my pee break after you.
Okay.
The bro pee break. But dude, I admit I was wrong.
And I called it, buddy. This is exactly what I said was going to happen. Michael Chiesa smothered Neil Magny, dude. This dude, he has kind of that Habib-ish style where he just takes you down, he beats you up. He's a big dude. For 170, he's real big, and he just smothers you. And Neil Magny's a guy who can do everything, but he just smothered the dude. Said, no, Neil, this is how we're going to fight this fight. And he did it. And man, some of his grappling exchanges and those scrambles were gorgeous, man. This guy can grapple, man. He be flowing out there. And someone made a point that even when he's tired, he's just, just all mental. He's flowing. His grappling was fantastic even when he got tired, but he's great. Yeah. And his ground pound was great. Trying to get some subs, dude. Michael Chiesa fought a Michael Chiesa fight and smothered Neil Magny.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And that was like the one thing that I was very impressed about. And also, again, I was wrong because of the fact that I always put length in a fight above a lot of things, because I've fought bigger dudes, or rolled with bigger dudes in jiu-jitsu and stuff like that and gotten caught. Michael Chiesa, though, his ground game is on a different level.
I mean, he knows with longer guy you got to get in, and he got in, and he's a big guy too. But no, it was great. Dude, I was gonna try to keep going. I'm gonna have to take my pee break right now. And I will say this,
all
man.
Right. Tim Danko is
next
taking
fight for Michael Chiesa. Michael Chiesa, Damian Maia sounds awesome.
Oh my God, that would be an amazing fight to have. Michael Chiesa versus who would win that fight? Who would win that fight is the question. Tim Danko has gone to the bathroom, everybody. Thank you for watching the Bro Plata. We appreciate it. Give us a like, a share, and also tell people to turn notifications on because we are amazing human beings. We appreciate all of you being here with the Bro Plata live while we're having some lovely libations and talking mixed martial arts. How are you guys? Leave a comment as well before or after the show. Even leave a comment. Tell us we suck. I don't care at this point. It's a fun time. We have Tim Danko going up to take a leak as we're talking about the main event from the Fight Island 8 for the UFC, Chiesa versus Magny. And I love this fight. I'm going to tell you guys, because Michael Chiesa finally has shown that 170 is a weight division that he should be in. It's kind of funny to see a guy who, I mean, one guy got pissy about some guy saying stuff about his mom, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, becomes one of the best 170 guys, at least in the UFC at this point, because of the fact that how good of a ground game Michael Chiesa has. It's crazy to see, and we're taking a pee break, and it's definitely time for pee breaks, everybody. We're waiting on Tim Danko. He's getting his lovely stuff on to come back from his pee break. and then I will turn the reins over to the sexy boy. Tim, entertain these fucking people, you savage, you.
Oh, Ray, I made a mistake.
Oh no, what'd you do?
I didn't bring my drink up with me, so later I'm gonna have to get a refill.
Oh, hey bartender, Joe Boo needs a refill.
Yeah.
Yes, but entertain these people while pee break happens.
All right, man. What are we talking about? All right, I was talking about Chiesa and fights he may have coming up. Him and Damian Maia be really good because Damian Maia is a jiu-jitsu guy, right? And Chiesa likes to fight on the ground, likes to get guys to the ground and bang them out there. Bang them out is a fun thing to say. But it's tough to do when you have a really tough jiu-jitsu guy like Damian Maia. They had that fight with Askren. He fought Ben Askren. When he fought Ben Askren, Askren tried to take him down, try to play his game. But Maia submitted him. That's what happens when you go to the ground with the tough ground guy, with the guys with the kind of submissions, Damian Maia. So that's a really interesting fight. That's good. Also, I like him and Stephen Thompson would be good too. It's a completely different fight. But that'd be really fun because Thompson is a great striker. It's great movement. I think it'd be kind of the same game plan-wise for Chiesa that he had with Magny. He would go out and, try to smother Magny. Try to smother Thompson like he smothered Magny. But it would be difficult because I think if anyone has great takedown defense and fantastic movement, which he showed with those fights with Tyron Woodley, it's Stephen Thompson. So there's that. We have that card coming up Saturday. Actually, it was really funny. I don't think I told Ray this, but last time I was podcasting on Wednesday, like my whole family was in the basement for some reason. They don't all live here, but they happen to be in the basement. And my brother and his lady were arguing like while I was on the podcast. And I found out later they were arguing about where they're going to watch the fight Saturday. That's what the big argument was, right? As I'm talking about the fights, they're arguing about where they're going to watch the fights. I still don't know. I don't know. I'm getting the fights. I don't know if they're coming over or not. I don't know. It's pretty funny though. And at one point, I think you hear my one niece screaming. She wasn't injured. She's just 3 years old. She does that. So I got scratched from my cat. I have a new cat. It's a kitten. Her name's Cookie. She's insane. What? What do you want, Ray? Talk about my cat.
I love the fact you're talking about your cat, sir.
Yeah. No, what I said to the people is when my brother and his lady were arguing Wednesday while we were on the podcast, what they were arguing about was where they're going to watch the fight, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be at my buddy John's house for this pay-per-view, and I'm very excited about this pay-per-view. Just because, I mean, you even look at the prelims, especially the early prelim. Nick Lentz is back.
Nick Lentz is going to get beat. Nick Lentz is going to get beat, but I love Nick Lentz.
Khalil Roundtree's coming back. That's a fun one. But yeah, man, this whole card looks fucking fantastic. Can't wait for the return of the Mac, because he will come back and hopefully destroy. I'm wearing my Irish cabbie man's hat that I got from my bathroom as I was peeing to talk about this fight.
Are you wearing a different hat than you were before? You weren't wearing a hat before.
No.
All right.
Yeah.
I would not have noticed if you didn't say something.
This is my corner man in the 20s hat. Like, this is, I look like I'm about to like stitch up a bare knuckle boxer before he goes in for like the 18th round.
Like Burgess Meredith, cut it.
Cut him, Rock. We're gonna cut ya. But yeah, dude, let's break it down from the top to the bottom. Because honestly, how can you do a top to bottom on this? McGregor.
Oh shit, man! This thing. All right, go ahead.
McGregor is You're right there, sir.
Okay, you found me. We're having weird stream issues. We're good.
No, it was just I clicked the wrong button. But no, yeah, this fight, long anticipated. I kind of wanted to have seen a rematch between Dustin and Conor for a long time. And Conor is, I believe, let's go to they actually have the betting lines on the website.
Yeah, look at that line, man.
It's crazy. And
listen, here's the thing, brother. Justin Porier is a plus 260 underdog. That's over 2.5, plus 2.5.
Yeah.
What? Like, listen, okay. They're giving you on a bet plus 2.5 to bet on Dustin Porier to win an MMA fight. He's good at MMA, right? Like Porier plus 2.5 against anyone who isn't. I mean, listen, plus 260. Who is he fighting? Jesus? No, he's fighting McGregor. McGregor's very good, but he's not Jesus. He's not even Khabib.
No. Man, but in this situation, I understand where the line is.
That's a good bet, man. Like, listen, I don't bet on fights because betting isn't legal here in Ohio, and you have to go through weird sites I don't trust. You know, we can just do DraftKings straight up in Ohio, that'd be fine, but you can't yet. So I don't. But man, listen, man, if you're gonna put money on something, you just thought. I'm not saying he's gonna win for sure, but the thing is, you think a plus 260 on Dustin Porier to win an MMA fight.
Yeah.
That kind of sounds. I don't care who's fighting. That sounds nuts.
Well, I mean,
if great value, 2.5 to 1 for Dustin Porier to win a fight, and it's not Khabib. All right, he's not fighting Khabib. He's fighting Conor. He's very good, but Khabib smothered both those guys. He choked both those guys out. Right. So I think it's much closer than that. And all right, I'm gonna do it. I'm picking Porier, man. I think I kind of like I gave you a little teaser last episode because I said I thought the champion of this division may be Justin Gaethje, but part of that would probably be Poirier beat McGregor, and I'm picking Poirier. A lot of reasons. Number one, Poirier's last couple of fights, yes, he had lost to Khabib, but so did Conor McGregor, but he has wins against Max Holloway and who did he just beat? Dan Hooker, right? And Eddie Alvarez, and like, dude, I mean, yeah, and yes, Conor has wins over those guys too, but dude, he has great wins. Also, okay, Conor's last MMA fight wasn't that much of a I told y'all moment, or you all must have forgot moment as people thought it was, because he's fighting Cerrone, who hasn't beat somebody in a long time. He hasn't beat somebody in a minute. A good guy, tough guy, but Conor did Poirier would do the same thing to him that fight, I think. So and when you're thinking about what the biggest one, the last big win for Conor in MMA was when he beat Nate Diaz, and that was a really close decision coming off of the loss to Nate Diaz. So, okay, Conor, with all the money he has, obviously has to love this sport to want to do it. So obviously he does, and I have a lot of faith that he's going to look awesome and be really good. But the thing is, it's really what have you done for me lately? And then especially when you have a plus a 260 underdog like Poirier, 260 for this, 260. That's nuts. I want to put money on this fight. I don't have any. I might go to the casino tomorrow to do it. I don't know. No, I'm going to get the fight, so I'm not going to do that. But I'm just saying, man, the way Poirier's been looking really great. Look really great against really tough Dan Hooker's fighting in the co-main event we're talking about here soon. But, man, yeah, dude. You know what? I'm going to go hard on this, man. I'm going to go hard. I could be wrong, but I'm going hard on this, man. I think Dustin Poirier is going to win this fight.
I can definitely see Dustin winning this fight. And he's looked really good, especially against Dan Hooker in his last fight.
This is the best Dustin Poirier we've ever seen. This is the best Conor McGregor we ever seen. I don't know.
Yeah,
listen. If he comes out and crushes Dustin Poirier, I'd be like, "Yeah, sorry, sir, my bad." And I know he works
as you should, sir.
Right, of course. And I've said it before, but said to Khabib, which this is different, man. The picking Gaethje over Khabib is kind of like a heart pick. This, I'd put money on this. I'm not saying to do it, right? Don't yell at me if he loses, but I think number one, you're getting a great line, a fucking great line. Yeah. And yeah, it can definitely happen. Dustin Poirier is a monster, man. He's had he's beat some of the best in the game, man. Great fights. And one person, him and Khabib, Conor and Khabib, the two toughest guys he's fought and did not beat. Now he gets a rematch against Conor in a new weight class, a class where they're both more comfortable weight wise. Mm-hmm. And I mean, Dustin Poirier is so much better fighter than he was before. Now, is McGregor a better fighter than he was before? Probably, but I mean, I think if you pick which one made more progress, it would definitely be Poirier.
Yeah, I can see that.
But no, and they're both good. They're both very good. So this is definitely one I think if they fight 10 times, it's probably split down the middle, 5 and 5. But that's why I'm picking Porier, man. And that line's good. That line's juicy. That's a good line.
I will be picking Conor because I am a homer.
That's okay.
Love Conor McGregor. Oh my! Got people yelling in my house. But I'm gonna pick Conor McGregor on this, just because what we saw in early 2020. I think yes, it was stopped majorly by the COVID crisis that we are still feeling today. But I don't know. This Conor seems like a more focused, he looks like he did when he first started fighting in MMA. Just that smiling guy who doesn't really give a shit and just shows up, beats somebody in record time and leaves. And I think honestly, like, Conor figured out Dustin in their first fight after doing a lot of the stuff that he wanted to implement against Dustin. Do I think he can do the same things that he did back then? Obviously, no. But I think what we're seeing is a way more focused Conor McGregor, a guy who, after that loss to Habib, for some reason, the switch just went like that. Like, he realized that he can't just live off of being the legend. He has to back it up with what he has. And that just demolishing of, yes, a very worn down Donald Cerrone, not a guy who was at the peak of his ability years ago, a guy that was scary. Dad Cerrone, like, Dad Cerrone died the day Conor knocked him out, because Dad Cerrone was a savage, and Conor, with those shoulders to the face, like he was an offensive or a defensive lineman, or no, an offensive lineman trying to protect the quarterback, just shoving his shoulder into his face. Conor is on a different level. He's thinking on a different level. Do I hope that he wins this? You fucking bet your ass, because I love Conor McGregor. But I do think Dustin can catch him. And if Dustin catches him, it's going to be a night for Conor McGregor that a lot of people will go, what can he get out of this? And honestly, I look at a guy like Conor McGregor, who has come back from so many losses, and to have the confidence that I've fought this guy before and beat him is a dangerous man. That is a very dangerous man, especially with the amount or the level of striking that we see from Conor on a regular basis. And Dustin, this is going to be a total, and I see Dustin trying to get takedowns, and that's going to be a fun thing to watch. If he can get the takedowns on Conor, I think Dustin's going to win this fight. But if Conor lands the proper strikes, this will be out by at least round 3.
Right. Kind of forget Dustin Poirier has a pretty sick ground game, right?
Yeah.
Kind of didn't talk about that. That's true. I mean, maybe a strategy. That maybe I wouldn't be surprised. That could be his whole strategy going in. It's a fight on the ground. Yeah. Interesting.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, I mean, just the fact that Conor wants to still fight is kind of scary, right? I mean, he doesn't need to, right? I mean, he's going to get a big paycheck for this fight, but he's good, man. His whiskey's doing well. He already made a lot of money on endorsements and endorsements in his fights. So you have to really, really want it, right? To fight at a high level right now. And the kind of person that wants it that bad still is a really scary person. So the fact that he even wants to do it, man, that makes him a scary dude. And he doesn't do anything half-assed. And, what you're hearing is he looks great out of camp. I'm sure he does. He never doesn't, right? So I'm sure he's going to be there ready to fight. I'm picking Dustin, man. I have a feeling. I think he's going to get him. And yeah, I think,
and I've said this,
on the ground, I'd be very surprised if Dustin doesn't beat him on the ground if it goes there.
Yeah, no, I can see Dustin beating him on the ground if it goes there, which would be awesome, and it would set up for a third fight, because I think, honestly, if there's guys that Conor beat on his way up, I would love to see him fight Max Holloway again. I would love to see Well, no, there's really only Dustin and Max that I would really want to see them in like a 1-2 fight kind of or a 2-3 kind of fight. You know what I'm saying? But like Conor has to come out and be the aggressor the entire time in this fight. Otherwise, Dustin will take him down, will fucking wrestle fuck the shit out of him. And we'll see what Nate Diaz did to him in their first matchup. I mean, I definitely see that happening. Do I see Conor getting those shots in that he really needs to? Fuck yes, I do. But it's Conor McGregor. I mean, he's the king of striking in MMA. Like nobody, I've not seen a guy who can just with that precision to just poof, well, fucking beat your ass. There's not that many guys in the MMA stratosphere that can do that shit. And Conor's one of those rare breeds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's
sure.
And I'm looking forward to just watching them fight. Like I don't care about who wins or loses. This is one of the only times.
I don't really care either. Other than the fact that I'm putting a lot of my my bragging points on Porier right now. That's fine. I'm good because I want it. I want you to know. I want you to know I'm picking Porier. I want you to know I'm picking Porier hard. All right. And not only that, I was just thinking on the last 2 times that I remember someone taking Conor to the ground at a fight for a good bit. He lost, right? Yeah. Even Diaz. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, Porier, he likes to bang. He likes, but I think, I think his strategy probably in this fight would be he may have tried to bang with some too, but I think that the takedown will definitely be there, and he'll try to get it because his ground game. I'm not going to say it's underrated because I think people know that he has a good ground game. He's had a lot of submission wins, so. Yeah, as always, man, it should be fun. I'm excited to see it.
This will be amazing, but this is the fight I'm looking forward to all night. This is the one fight I don't care about McGregor Poirier as much as I do this next fight.
Is it Boo?
It's my boo, one of my favorite fighters. Definitely. With Michael Chandler and Dan Hooker. This fight to me is going to be a huge test for the career of Michael Chandler, and I'll explain to you why right now. Obviously, let's look at the betting line as well. Michael Chandler is a plus 105. And Dan Hooker is a minus 125 on your betting dial.
That's real close. It's almost a pick 'em, right?
Yeah.
It's a very, very close line.
Which it should be. But I need to, I'm going to give my opinion before you do on this because I've seen Michael Chandler from Bellator. Guy's a fucking lunatic. I like him. I remember obviously, and I think a lot of MMA fans do as well, when his foot decided to give out in New York City at Madison Square Garden. Huge pay-per-view. I think the main event was Vanderlei versus Chael Sonnen. But like this fight for Michael Chandler's career is a culmination of a lot of things. One, it's hard work. 2, it's the hype machine that was put behind him by Scott Coker back in the day. And a lot of only UFC fans who are going to watch this because it's Conor McGregor get to see Michael Chandler. So he's going to have a bigger audience than a Bellator pay-per-view or a Bellator on Spike.
The biggest one he's had by a lot.
Yeah. And that's where I'm going to say this. I'm picking Dan Hooker.
Okay.
Just based on the fact that Dan Hooker has UFC experience. It's Bellator and UFC are 2 different kind of places if you really look at it. But Bellator does have a following, but it's not as big as the UFC when, say, a Conor McGregor is on the card. And this is a pay-per-view. And I see Dan Hooker being the victor in this. I want to be wrong because I do like Michael Chandler. I love Michael Chandler, great fighter, but I'm going to pick Dan Hooker on this because of the fact that he has that big pay-per-view fight experience to draw on. And yeah, Chandler has some pay-per-view experience and stuff like that. But when it comes to the UFC, it's a different animal. You always hear about that. It's just, it feels bigger. There's something about it. And I think Chandler will rise to the occasion, but I think it's going to go to a decision.
I think, I mean, it's definitely possible that Hooker will win, but I don't think it'll have anything to do with any kind of overhype or anything. Look, Michael, if you watch him fight, that guy has ice water. He's an ice water guy. He's ice water in his veins kind of guy. I don't think it's going to bother him at all once they close the door. I think it'll be fine. I don't think it's going to, if he loses this fight, I don't think it have anything to do with that personally. I think if it's going to be anything with this being too big for him, her being nervous. No, it's going to be because Dan Hooker just beat him. But I'm pulling for Michael Chandler a lot because there are some people who only watch UFC, and there are some people, I know some people that are getting the fight this weekend that only get Conor McGregor cards, right? So yeah, it will be the biggest audience by a lot for him. And I really want him to win because I want people to know how good he's been for a long time. But Dan Hooker's a damn good fighter too. So it's going to be a real tough fight. If Michael Chandler can wrestle, Dan Hooker's going to win. And if he can take him down, he can smother him like he does a lot of guys. And he also has a lot of power in his hands as well. But Dan Hooker's also a very long guy, a lot longer than Chandler. So he's going to have the reach, and kind of like what you said, the Magny fight, that might be a problem. But Chandler's fought long guys before. Dan Hooker's a very big lightweight, though. He's man. I can't believe that guy fought.
Leg reach is 10 inches advantage to Hooker.
Yeah, right. So
the leg kicks probably will be a factor in this.
Probably, yeah, especially because you're talking about a guy who's going to want to shoot. So he's going to have calf kicks on him and whatnot. So he's going to get hit. He's going to get kicked. He's trying to go in for takedowns. But dude, I think Chandler's going to win this fight because I think he's going to show everybody, hey, man, if you don't know, now you know, as Dana White says, for whatever reason. And he's been good for a really long time. He just hasn't been with the UFC. He's been fighting the best in every other organization, or with Bellator specifically. But I think Chandler's going to get it. I disagree with you to think that this is going to be it's going to be too big for him. I don't think it's going to. If he loses this fight, have a zero. I think zero effect.
Well, I'm more looking at it from a casual fan perspective. Got people who, like you said,
it's going to look that way. I don't think it's going to actually be that way. I'm sure some people will say that if he loses.
Yes,
sure. But I think you're wrong.
I
think all right. Well, the way you were saying it, man, you think that will happen.
No, I'm all right, picking Dan Hooker by decision here. I'm not picking knockout or anything like that. I think that Michael Chandler will go the distance in his UFC debut on pay-per-view, but I think that Dan Hooker is going to have the advantage on this just based on, one, Dan Hooker's been there before.
I don't think it will matter. Yeah, I'm just saying.
You never know.
Listen, we're agreeing to disagreeing, but I'm just saying I don't think it will matter. Yeah, you never know. I may be wrong, but I really don't think it will. Dude, Michael Chandler's been in giant fights. I mean, yeah, it's his biggest fight, but he's fine, man. He's had big fights for a long time. Listen, he was the number one guy in Bellator, right? So and people do watch Bellator. It's not like they don't, right? So I mean, yeah, it's not as big an audience as the UFC, and yeah, probably the biggest audience. He will have the biggest audience he's ever had. But that's like everybody's fighting on the Conor McGregor card. That's everybody on this card. Not just him. So
this
I think
a payday for everyone.
This is also a guy's had a lot of main events, right? So he'll be fine, man. He'll be fine. I really hope he wins because I don't want people to be like, well, that's what you get when you get to UFC. You can't compete with these guys. I don't want that.
But you will have those people. I know. Guarantee.
That's why one of the reasons I want Chandler to win this fight. I wanted to kill him. I like Dan Hooker a lot. He's really good, but I want Michael Chandler to beat the shit out of him. Just to be like, hey, there's more than one game in town. Yes, this is the biggest game in town, but it doesn't mean that the guys over in Bellator are monsters, because they have monsters over there. Michael Chandler has been one of their biggest monsters for a long time.
Yeah, no, and I agree with you, man. And I'm excited for that fight, just because of the fact that I've been watching Michael Chandler for as long as I have, and it's fine. It's finally his opportunity to be on, quote unquote, the big stage, the one organization in the world that everybody knows, everybody loves, and everybody will watch because it's the name brand. And for him to be on the name brand is awesome, because now his pay may go up maybe a couple 100,000, but at the same time, he's getting the recognition he deserves. Like, I look at this more as a recognition fight. Win, lose, or draw, to be honest with you. Win, lose, or draw, Michael Chandler being in the UFC, it's sort of like the Browns losing to KC. God's in his heaven, all's right with the world, and we can finally have a guy who deserves to be in where he needs to be there. You know what I'm saying? Because Michael Chandler is a fucking savage.
Here's the difference. I don't know how many people are saying the Browns are actually a good team after they lost to Kansas City. I don't know, but
I'm definitely
will
not.
there be people? Will there be people that say that Michael Chandler isn't actually good if he loses to Dan Hooker? Yeah, there will be. And should we worry about them? No, we shouldn't worry about them. All right, we should just worry about what we think, Ray, because what we think is always right, unless you think that. Because no, but I know you know Michael Chandler, so you're not going to be that guy.
No.
But
and I would never be with Michael.
Like I said before, this is the biggest exposure anyone on this card has gotten, probably even Porier, man. Except because it's more than he did the first time he fought Conor. So yeah, everybody's going to be feeling that a bit on this card probably. So if you think Chandler's going to be feeling it, so is Hooker.
I will tell you though, another fight I'm looking forward to, and this girl definitely doesn't or knows pressure because she performed in her hometown, even though she lost at UFC 203. Our girl, the Queen of Cleveland, my MMA crush,
the Queen of Rootstown.
No, the Queen of Cleveland, sir. She fights out of Cleveland now.
Wait, she moved back?
No, it doesn't matter.
Out of Vegas.
She's a Cleveland girl. It doesn't matter.
Barberton. There's a reason why you can make your creative fighter on UFC 4 from Barberton, which is kind of funny. It's very funny.
Because Barberton.
Oh, Barberton.
But no, yeah, Jessica.
You know what, man? Best fried chicken I've ever had in my life is in Barberton. So
really, what place?
There's I can't remember the name. There's two different places. It's like for a long time that town has had fried chicken wars, and there's two different places that have had. Yeah, I mean it's been on like the Travel Channel and stuff too. I mean it's good. You never had Barberton fried chicken? I don't remember the name of the places, but just look it up. They're great.
I will.
Barberton fried chicken is a shit. I'm not just saying that, man. It's fucking great. Best fried chicken I've ever had is in Barberton.
But what do you think about this fight versus Jessica Joanne Calderwood? What do you think?
It's a big one. Big one for the flyweight division, right? These ladies want to get up and lose to Valentina. So, Jessica's already did it once. Calderwood would have had it if she didn't take another fight against Maya. She's coming off that loss, Jennifer Maya. This is going to be tough. They're both tough ladies, and they're both really fun to watch fight. I'm going to pick Calderwood. I like them both a lot. They're both very tough. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised either way. What's the line on this fight, Raymond? It probably should be close, right?
Let's look at the line right now. As I look at this, it is -105, -117.
That's basically a pick 'em. That's basically a pick 'em.
Yeah.
Who's -105?
Jessica I is -105. Joanne Calderwood is 117.
I mean, she's a favorite, but barely a favorite. Yeah, this is a pick 'em, basically a pick 'em. Yeah, she's barely a favorite. But yeah, this should be good. I don't know who's gonna win for sure. I'm picking Calderwood, but I like Jessica I too. I like them both. This is one of those I don't want either of them to lose. Well, I take that back. I don't want to draw. So, all right, I like them both. They're both tough, and yeah, they're good. We got a comment here. Let's see. Aaron asked who we have
has the question. You need to listen more.
Yeah, we just talked about it.
You need to listen more, Aaron Jackson. I'm picking Conor McGregor. And this lovely man over here is picking Dustin Porier. So go back and listen to the episode because we already talked about it. You're late to the game. How dare you, Aaron Jackson, leave that
comment. We'll run it back. I got Dustin and Ray's wrong. I'm hard, man. I'm hard on Porier. Hard on it. I really think he's going to win this fight. I do. And that line, +260 for Porier. That's ridiculous, man. 2.5, almost 2.5 to 1 for over 2.5 to 1 for Porier. Really? Come on, man. It's awesome. That's a great line.
It is a great line, but my homerism leads to Conor. And I will admit my homerism leads to Conor.
Get out of here. All right. What do we got next?
Let's Aaron Jackson, yes, thank you. Join us every week. We appreciate you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you very much. Share us out with your MMA friends. Tell them we exist. 2 to 3 times a week. We do MMA podcast, the Bro Plata. But Aaron Jackson, thank you for leaving your comment. Much appreciated, man. That's awesome. Thank you. But yes, we will. I'm picking Conor because I'm a Conor homer, and I will admit I'm a Conor homer. He's picking Dustin because he likes the line, which is good. Also, leave us a like, Aaron. Leave us a like on Facebook. Help us get on the algorithm.
All you want is more from these people.
Right? I'm trying to build the brand.
Leaving a comment, you want more.
I want to be able.
Leave them alone. Leave them alone.
I want to be able to look at my statistics at the top of the fucking screen, sir.
You can't just take what you get. You always want more. You're trying to drive people away. Big business Ray Hotclack. I got it again.
Hold on. Putting my big business hat on. Yes, big business Ray Hotclack is right fucking here.
Get to the next fight, right? Hurry up. Get to the next fight. I about had enough.
All right, let's talk about the next fight. Andrew Sanchez versus Mahmoud Muradov. I'm not very familiar. I think Muradov has
moved this to the main card.
What?
They put this on the main card?
They did, sir.
Huh. All right.
I'm going to pick the American Andrew Sanchez.
Yeah, me too. Is he still the mullet? In that picture, he doesn't. But last time he fought, he had a great mullet. If he still has a mullet, he's going to win.
If he still has a mullet, yes, I'm always down for that, and happy to be there with him. I'm gonna pick Aaron Sanchez or Andrew Sanchez.
They lost the fight here, man. I didn't have it looked. Let me take a look here. It looks like we lost the fight. Shoot, we didn't take a look at weigh-ins either. Who made weight?
Well, as long as Conor and Dustin made weight, I don't really give a shit.
Oh, whoa, shit! Look at this. Okay.
Ooh, we have
Ottman Azatar cut day before UFC 257 for bringing unauthorized guests to Fight Island. Okay, somebody who wasn't. They cut him for that.
They should
be on the main card. They cut him altogether. Wow,
it's a bubble, sir. You need to
brought somebody into the bubble who wasn't supposed to be in the bubble. Violations of the health and safety protocols. Yeah, this guy was going to be on the main card. That's why I was a little surprised. Yeah, he was supposed to fight Amar. I can't pronounce this guy's name. I think he's on the main card, but he just came off that big win against Conor Worthy, and yeah, dude, they just cut him. Huh. Well, that's what you get, man.
Yeah, especially for bringing somebody who's not authorized. No, that's
a big deal. It's a big deal, and it looks good because they're showing that they're being serious, and they have been serious with the protocols the whole time. So good for them.
Yeah, the UFC, and I've spilled a little bit of beer.
Unfortunately, we lost a good fight, though. I was excited for that one, but all right, whatever.
Hold on, I gotta do something real quick. I spilled beer, Tim Danko. I spilled beer.
What's true, man?
I don't know. My life's in turmoil.
You know what? We're the best. Again, we are the best podcast. We flow.
Watching me clean up alcohol right now, everybody.
Right,
thank you for watching.
Makhan Muradov, man, is coming off of a win against.
The fact that somebody brought in somebody on the outside is bullshit.
Yeah, it is. No, I'm looking at this this guy's fighting. Sanchez is fighting Muradov here. In he hasn't had a fight. He didn't have a fight in 2020, but in 2019 he beat Trevor Smith with an overhand right and had a decision against DeChirio, who we just saw knock out Joaquin Buckley. Wendell Oliveira. Oh, that was before UFC. This is his third UFC fight. He has two big wins. He's fighting Andrew Sanchez, I believe is coming off a big win. He beats Wellington Thurman with that he knocked him out. I remember that. It was a great fight. That mullet. So this should be fun, man. What's the line here, brother?
The line on this fight, let me look it up here. The line on this fight is Andrew Sanchez is a plus 115 and Mahmoud is a 145 underdog or a negative. Underdog is 115. Yeah.
Again, these are all real close lines. All right, we're going with Sanchez still, man. Getting the underdog win. I hope he has his mullet. If he has here we go. If he doesn't have the mullet, I didn't check. If he does have the mullet, he's not going to win. If he has the mullet, he's going to win. Here we go. Very
pro mullet.
Yes, very technical analysis for me. Mullet wins.
mullet wins out of all of them because it's amazing. I'm gonna pick Andrew just because of being the Merca. Yeah. Let's go into Marina Rodriguez and Amanda Hebus. She coming in hot.
She is.
Marina
coming in
is
hot.
Let's look at the betting odds first on this.
Episode 1, I asked Amanda Rebus to marry me, and she hasn't got back to me. All right, so I'm still waiting on that. This is Boo. This is the love of my life right here, Amanda Rebus. She's fighting a really tough. This is supposed to be her and Michelle Watterson, I believe, but she got hurt. And Marina Rodriguez steps up. Marina Rodriguez is very tough. Oh wow, Rebus is that's a big
minus
favorite.
1 or 335.
She's a big
and
favorite.
Marina is plus 250.
Well, it looks like bettors are sleeping a bit on Rodriguez. However, I'm going to pick Hebus because I think she's great, and I think it's just a matter of time until she fights for a title. But Rodriguez is very tough too. I think she had a really close decision loss to Esparza recently. But besides that, she kills people. She's great. She could very easily win this fight. So the fact that she's that big of an underdog kind of surprises me. But I got Boo, got the love of my life, Hebus, winning this fight by decision.
By decision, sir? Are you going to stand by that?
Yes. Get out of here.
We have it on tape.
It's on there. Physical tape. We record all of our shows on VHS just in case. You didn't know that about us. We back everything up on 8-tracks and cassettes and VHS, and we do things old school. Vinyl.
I do like this prelim as well. That's going to be on ESPN Plus starting at 8 p.m.
You pick your fight or what? Who's
gonna win? I'm gonna pick Boo.
Okay.
Amanda Hebus.
Got her. I'd kick your ass. All right.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, if I'm gonna pick against the guy's girlfriend, then
right. You don't want this, he doesn't want the smoke. He knows better.
I want the smoke, but that'll be after the podcast.
It's a different kind of definitely. Smoke. You don't want this smoke, fam.
I think a double leg on you.
Greatest podcast on earth. We're so much better than every other podcast. Can't you tell?
Hey, we got more comments than we've ever had, to be honest with you. So I'm happy about that. People asking about fights.
Most of them are Alan telling me I'm fat.
Who we got here? I'll join Alan.
What we got? We got Armin. We got Armin and Matt here.
Yes, Armin and Matt Frivola is the tops of your prelim card for UFC 257. I got my computer's being lame and taking too long, but
I believe the American, the Steamroller Matt Frivola, which I like. I like Matt the Steamroller Frivola is a great nickname, by the way. I think he's gonna get smoked.
Really?
Yeah. I think Armin's gonna crush this dude.
Okay, yeah, I can definitely see Armin getting this probably second round. Frivola,
if it gets that far. What's the odds here?
Your odds for this card, according to UFC.com,
the dude who has a win
are not on the website.
That's sons. All right. You know what? I'll have to look him up myself. But talk about Armin has a win against I just saw who he just beat. Also has a win against Aubin Olivier, the judo guy from Canada who's with Bellator now. I think he's with Bellator.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, Mercier. Yeah.
At
he's tough. What am I looking for? Oh, okay. Chugga. Looking for the odds. Yeah, okay. All right. It's the biggest. Yeah. Frivola is the biggest underdog in this card at plus 475. Ooh. And I still don't like it because I think he's going to get crushed. And minus 115, Armin, I don't know how to say his last name. Sharkan. I think Armin's going to crush this dude. And a lot of people think so too because he's minus 715, which is nuts. That's a big line. So don't put even though plus 475 seems like a big win. It's a big jackpot for you. I wouldn't take it. That's just me.
What do you think?
I don't think I'll be wrong on this one.
I'm gonna pick the American in this.
You're
just
wrong.
because
That's a dumb pick. This is a dumb pick. Just to be American, you're picking the American. I told you this guy's gonna get crushed. And
I
I'm
pick
not
with my
making this
heart,
shit up.
Tim Danko.
You're way you know what, dude? Good for you. I will apologize if you're right, but I don't think it's happening, man. I think this guy is getting crushed. He's getting sent to the wolves, really, on this one. I think he is. So
This next fight, though, I'm very excited about. Brad Tavares, who's just a lunatic, taking on Antonio Carlos Jr. I'm always a fan of second generation human beings. So no matter if you're a junior
human
or
beings, who isn't a multiple generation human being? Like it was just.
I'm saying if you're a junior or two, sir.
Came up from the ashes. It's just I'm my own family. I have no relatives. I am born of the earth. I'm born of the earth. I have no relatives in this world. What are you talking about?
I'm not born, man.
Again, best podcast ever, man. Okay, Antonio Carlos Jr. is a very small favorite, plus 105, and Tavares very small. Excuse me, plus 105 underdog, very small, and Tavares very small favorite, minus 134. I have Junior in this one, man. I think Tavares. I remember him getting knocked out by Savazian, right?
Yeah.
And Carlos Jr. is always a tough dude. This should be a good fight, though. I'm excited for this one too. These guys can bang it out. But I got Antonio Carlos Jr. I got the man who belongs to no one or whatever. I don't know.
Whatever to quote the Temptations, I second that emotion for sure. I like Antonio Carlos Jr. I like his striking style. It's always just so sexy to watch that guy. And then, but at the same time, I'm always a fan of somebody who's named after their dad. So it's
okay.
immediately.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, the way you said it, you're like, I like people with families. That's what it sounded like. Right. I don't like people who just came off of Krypton and have no family.
Yeah, I don't want somebody that was created with
all this fight. You said this fight was sexy, therefore you need to keep your pants on, Raymond. Moving on.
Let's move on to the next one, because honestly, this is a fight of two just tens. Tens. Not only, I'm not talking about UFC rankings. I'm not talking about rankings in the world. I am just talking just on a looks level. Sarah McMahon versus Juliana Pena. You have two of the sexiest women on the planet Earth.
Sarah McMahon, really?
Sarah McMahon, sir. I am a big fan of Sarah McMahon. I think she's hot. Her and Kat Zingano are two of my favorite MMA women because of the fact that they are what I like to call undercover savages. Like you look at a Sarah McMahon. She looks like an Avon Lake housewife who only takes her kids to soccer games, but does kickboxing like 3 times a week and is really good on the ground. Like she is so good. And then Juliana Pena is a fox in her own right, but like more of the savage. I'm gonna pick Juliana Pena in this fight.
I pick Pena too. However, if Sarah McMahon gets her wrestling going, she's hard to beat, right? She's a fantastic wrestler, one of the best wrestlers in the women's MMA.
Oh,
so that's tough. But I'm going to pick Pena too. I mean, I think she's younger, right? And McMahon's been around a long time. But you know what, man? Pena's hot, but I don't know about McMahon. That's your thing, man. We already talked about this a lot. We have different standards, you and I. We've talked about this a lot, so I had to.
Oh yeah, no, I've had to explain a lot of like my love of certain women because it's like
I don't want you to explain it to me. Like I don't want to know. I don't want to know your thought process. I don't want to know. Don't explain.
I'm telling you, like Sarah McMahon is different. Well, no, I call it Midwest excellence. Like Sarah McMahon looks like a chick from like Illinois to Ohio. And she's a 10 wherever she goes in the country. Like I think Sarah McMahon is beautiful. But like I like that kind of chick that I like tomboys. It's always been a thing of mine. Tim Danko is gone, it seems. His camera is frozen. Oh, there you are. You're just looking at your phone. It looked like you were frozen.
I'm good, man. Yeah, I'm good.
But no, yeah, I like Midwest excellence. Like, that is the kind of chick that Sarah McMahon is. But I will say, Juliana Pena, Foxy as well. I mean, you look at both of these women, they're both and I like dangerous women. I like women with a little bit of edge on them. And
I'll give you that. They're both dangerous ladies, but I got Pena.
Yeah, I got Pena as well. I do not see McMahon winning unless, like you said, the wrestling game does come into it. But who knows at this point? And yeah, it's definitely an interesting time. But now let's go to an interesting fight just based on one fighter alone. Khalil Roundtree comes back, and he's taking on Marcin Prachinio. Yes. And it's Khalil Roundtree 9-4 as a professional. Marcin is 13-5. United States versus my home country, a place I love so much. But Tim Danko, I'm going to say this.
Whatever you're doing, just stop it. Just talk about the fight in your normal speaking voice.
Oh, you don't like my Eastern European accent? It kind of works, because it's Eastern European. It's right there, and it's playful.
Again, if you didn't already know, I'm trying to get rid of Ray. So if anyone wants to take Ray's place, let me know. I'm accepting applications. This is why this shit.
Why my voices you do not like the voices?
Get out of here.
Take that as a no.
Get out of here,
man. But what do you think about this fight coming up?
A couple what am I looking for here? Yeah, a couple light heavyweights, sluggers, man. Pacino, though, is coming off he's coming off 3 losses in a row. So you're trying to hope that he can, maybe get it back together, man. And yeah, Roundtree's been off a while too, right? So let's go with Roundtree. No, you know what? Let's go with the Polish dude. See, he's going to finally get himself a win of a guy who hasn't fought in a long time. Why not? I don't know. Obviously, I'm not very confident in this. What's the line? I just closed that window. Hold the line.
One choke over the line, sweet Jesus.
Again, best UFC ever.
UFC has Khalil Roundtree as a -135 versus Marcin, who is a 335 versus Marcin, who is a +250.
Well, I'm not putting money on it, but I'm picking Marcin. I'm just doing
really. That's interesting,
I don't know.
Khalil Roundtree, I think Khalil has that power to put a guy away in the first 2 rounds of a 3-round fight, which I like about Khalil. I mean, he's had some fights in the past in the UFC where you're like, how the fuck did you touch that man to death? Like, what the fuck just happened?
He does.
So I'm picking Khalil Roundtree on this one.
The only reason I'm picking the Polish dude is because his back is up against the wall, man. He needs himself a win. He may be done if he doesn't get this win. So we just say he's gonna. Why not? Why not say he's gonna he's gonna not let the pressure get the most of him. He's gonna step it on up. He's gonna be clutch and get himself a win. Why not? Expert analysis.
Experts
in Abu Dhabi.
Let's talk about the early prelims real fast.
Let's do it.
Since Khalil Roundtree will be opening it up, Nick Lentz will be closing it out on the early prelims. What do you think about this fight?
This is another one, man. I like Nick Lentz a lot, but he's going to get smoked. He's been around a long time. This guy's like 10 years is a junior, and he's a tough dude. He crushes people. So I like Nick Lentz a lot. It'd be really cool if he had a really nice gutsy performance, man. And look real good or whatever. Had a grinded one out. It'd be great. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's going to get finished by this kid.
Could happen, and I'm gonna pick. Let me look at what his name is. Mavzar Evolov or Evolev. I see Mazov getting the victory in this over Nick Lentz.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably a really big. I mean, I said the other guy was the biggest underdog on the card, but he may be a bigger underdog. I didn't see.
Yeah, let me look at the betting odds.
No, it's not quite as big. Nick Lentz is plus 390 underdog. Evelev is a -6. 560 favorite.
Okay,
I'm picking him. Picking the favorite here. And what's the last one we got here? We got
well, no, let me put this comment up because he did ask it earlier, and we're going to answer the question now. AA9, let's look at his full name so we can give him AA9 S Killer. We are talking now about your boy. Hopefully you'll share this out. I'm gonna pick a mirror.
Always wanting more. Again, this guy always wanting more from you people. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just happy you're here.
Yes, we want more from our listeners because that's how we get listeners.
Big business Ray Highclock over here.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just enough that you listen. Troll your family. Sheesh, Ray.
Yes, please. You'll at least find one that likes MMA. But what do you think about this fight coming up?
Hold on, let me pull this up. I can't find the card.
Oh, you son of a bitch! I had the card up and all this.
No, I mean I'm not the card. I'm trying to look at these guys' records. Oh man, where's the Tapology card? There we go.
See, Tim's just fucking up, guys. This is what Tim does.
Yeah, I'm the one. You trying to scare everybody away by asking them for money? You fucking crazy. Oh yeah, this is the one where it's an Iraqi guy against a guy from Kazakhstan.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean those Iraqis, man, they can wrestle. I don't know too much about either of them, but I do know these guys. It looks like they crush people. This is man, Zarglis Zamagalov. The Kazakhstani's guy. Second fight in the UFC. He lost a decision in his last fight in July. But he's fighting a dude who these are flyweights, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Abazi, I can say his name. He's coming off a win against a very tough Malcolm Gordon in his first UFC fight. Yeah, I'm picking the man, the Iraqi here, man. I'm gonna go with Abazi.
I'm gonna go with Abazi. I'm going to go with
Swedish.
Abazi.
I'm sorry. He's Swedish. He's Swedish. I apologize. Is he Swedish?
He may live there. Well, no, he says he's from Iraq originally, so he may fight out of Sweden now.
I think they said it was born in Sweden. And either way, yeah, the flag is where you're born. He was born in Sweden, but he's from Iraq. Okay. Either way, yeah. He's coming off. Malcolm Gordon's a tough dude. He beat Malcolm Gordon. This other guy's coming off a loss. What's the line here?
The line is actually sort of a pick'em. We have a negative 109 or 106 for Abazi.
Well, in honor of our Twitch guy here, I'm going to pick a mirror.
Negative 118.
We could pick a mirror here in honor of our Twitch listener.
Yes.
I hope he gets it, man. I hope he gets it.
Yeah, me too. I want Amir Albazi to win this just because we have a fan on Twitch that likes Amir. So let's continue to keep that person listening constantly, and that's the one thing we want. Thank you guys for listening. We do appreciate it. You're fucking awesome. We want you guys to know that.
That's true. Don't get scared away by Ray asking you for shit.
Yes, big business Ray Highclack. Don't let him bother you. He only comes out when I'm drinking, so because I want to make money to drink. So
right.
But Tim, we've gone down the list. We've had everything we've had.
I know, man. Talk. I was all over the place this episode. I did a lot of stuttering. I didn't like it. It's all right. We'll do better next time, I guess. We'll try. Do my best. Right. We had a lot to talk about, and we went off on tangents. We talked about Kevin Smith for like 20 minutes. It's always fun, though. That's why we say we're the best podcast on earth. And I'm in my creepy bunker now, which it looks like I'm in a creepy bunker with my black map and my.
That was a question posed to me. When aren't you drinking? Certain days.
I had 2 beers on Wednesday. That's all I had this week, so I'm not doing too bad. I mean, today's been the most drinking I've done all week, but that's.
I've pretty much drank every day this week.
Well, that's what happens. Well, yeah, it's because you're about to start start doing a job here. You had a new job
yes, sir.
out, so you want to get your drinking out of the way.
And we'll have more of a schedule now that I have a day job as well.
Oh man!
So you're gonna have to adhere to the rules.
Rules. Again, replacing Ray Hyclack. Again, trying to
replace Ray Hyclack.
Right. Oh, I want to talk about that. Do I want to talk about it now or wait till next episode?
What's the it's up to you.
Well, it's Dana White. The shit he's saying about. Okay, listen. About this, the people who pirate the pay-per-views.
You mean the fight of the century?
Yeah, that's funny. The way he has the streamers. Well, it's funny because he's saying things like, I've been working with the FBI. I'm like, that's true. Are you supposed to talk about it? I don't think so. If you're really a part of an FBI investigation, you're probably not supposed to tell anybody about it, right? So part of me thinks that he's just making this smoke up, man. Yeah. Like, I'm going to scare everybody away by telling them that the FBI's on their asses. We have guns pointing out of somebody's house just waiting for them. I'm like, yeah, you know what? If he says they have somebody on watch and they're going to bust them as soon as they do it. If that's true, I hope it's some kid in a wheelchair whose parents are broke and his only joy he gets is from watching the UFC. And yeah, he can't afford it, so he pirates it, but then you're going to wheel this kid out. That's what I hope. So he looks like the biggest asshole of all time. They point guns at this young teenager's face in a wheelchair because he can't afford the pay-per-views. He just wanted to watch his favorite Conor McGregor fight, but Big Bad Dana had to put an AR-15 in his face because he's working with the FBI. That's what I hope. I'll talk about this more eventually, but this is
well.
Fun. This is what he's talking about. I'm gonna get you guys. I'm gonna get you. It's very on brand for Dana White, and it's funny.
And being a guy who has had
out of that guy's pocket, he'll be pissed.
I've had friends internationally for years who pirate and do all that kind of stuff. If it wasn't to be honest with you, I'm for pirating. I hate to be, I know big business Ray and everything like that, but I'm for pirating because if you can do it and you have the balls to fucking put out something on a website that's a free thing for people to watch, those people deserve to watch it because they looked for it. You searched that shit out to pirate any kind. I mean, I can tell you, I'll give you a good example. So from 2000 and I want to say it was 7 or 8 to 2011, I not only watched free WWE and TNA at the time, Impact Wrestling is what they're called now, pay-per-views because of my one buddy Tommy who lives in the UK. And I'm fine with it. If you are one of those people that wants to search that shit out and let your IP address get fucking thrown out there on a list, go ahead. I mean, I do it all the time with certain sports. I go to illegal streaming sites to watch international sports like cricket and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, just let them do it. Let them fucking do it. Because a lot of people can't afford to watch a $60 pay-per-view or a $70 pay-per-view who are fans. So don't go after them.
It's the funniest thing is just Dana's reaction to it. It's I go, guys in the FBI. I've been working as a special agent with the Bureau. I call them the Bureau because if you're in it, you just say the Bureau, right? We just call it the Bureau if you're an insider, right? I've been working with my buddies at the Bureau, right? To get all these scammers, and we're gonna get you. We know who you are. We know who your family is. We have snipers pointed at your house. We're gonna do it. You take my Conor McGregor fight, we're gonna take you out. Funny. It's so funny because of how hard he's going. He's like, "Don't steal my shit, bro." All right, brother.
My favorite.
I buy the pay-per-views. I don't like streaming stuff, and I always feel bad, and I don't like to do it. I just buy it. So. There's that.
See, I'm that guy where as long as I can pirate it for free, I'm okay with it. I may be big business Ray, but sometimes I'm for the little people.
No, you're big business if it's your own business.
Yes. Yeah. That's if it matters to me, then it needs to be talked about more.
Captain Capitalist Ray Hycliffe.
Yes, capitalism all day against communism every day. That's how I look at life.
Sure.
And you guys should look at the Bro plot.
And the communists are from here. Oh, I'm sporting on my map again. All right.
But yeah, Tim, I think it's time that we should call it a day.
We're done.
We're hungry. Done for the day.
I'm gonna eat something and watch the rest of this Cavs game. Maybe
I'm gonna continue to drink and just be myself. I think I have a KFC pot pie waiting for me, which is awesome.
Oh man, lucky you.
Ooh, I feel lucky. But no, yeah, this has been a great episode. Probably the most comments we've gotten in a show and from different people. So that's always a good time. Thank you guys who commented on the show. Leave a comment in the section below. And also click if you want to donate to the show, the Venmo is up there in all the descriptions. That way we can buy cameras for ourselves and Tim can buy possibly a ring light for himself to look pretty. Because instead of living in his bunker that he has right now, with all of his canned goods and Patriot Supply food supplies, which is always great.
French pornography.
French pornography is better than any pornography. Why? It's French.
I said print pornography, but that too.
Print pornography. That's even better because it lasts longer.
Printed, yes.
As long as the pages don't stick, we're good.
Hardcover. So fancy. All right, sign off because I'm about to turn this off.
Well, bye, actually, yes. Tim, give your social media handles.
Right there. Stay at Dig Danko. That's on everything. Even Venmo. If you want to give me money in that way.
At Dig Danko. Yes, give Tim money. Twitter. That way I can extort him for more money.
I don't think it's possible. I'm running out.
But and also for you guys who are watching this down the road, March 4th, I will be hosting for Aaron Berg from In Hot Water on Compound Media. And then the week after, I will be with John McClellan the entire weekend, the 11th through the 14th. No, not John McClane. McClellan, you fuck.
John McClane.
But I'm excited for that. So go to funnystop.com for tickets. And go from there. Thank you guys for watching the Bro Plotted. This has been one of our most successful shows. I'm so happy. Thank you guys.
Your show sucked.
And we will always tell you this every time. Find a Kumite. Go to it. And guess what? Me and Tim may possibly see you at the Kumite. Have a good night, guys.
Again, no one knows what you're talking about. Kevin Smith, though. Everybody watch Dogma and Red State. You need to watch Red State, Ray. Watch that.